GMC Sierra with hands-free driving offers the most advanced and luxurious pickup in its class. Yeah, it rocks.
You don't come to Vegas for one game, one race, one fight, one matchup, or one team. You come for the epic pregame and 3 days of postgame. You come for the showtime, go time, and 24 hours of prime time. Because the game is just the beginning. Las Vegas, the greatest arena on earth.
Following the WWE Royal Rumble last night, we went to Lucan Block, Texas, and celebrated with Waylon, Willie, and the boys. And now today, we're going to watch some NFL football. It's Championship Sunday. Got the AFC and NFC Championship games. First off, 49ers, Eagles, followed by the Bengals and Chiefs. And we'll have live watch-along reactions, audio only today, live right here on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Go and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL. Hashtag NFL playoffs. Chat questions and comments. Super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. 49ers, Eagles. Philly, the number one overall seed. San Fran, the 2 seed. They won at home the wild card round against the Seahawks for the third time this season, along with defeating the Dallas Cowboys last week as well. Whereas, of course, Philly had a bye. San Fran would have had a bye if, under the old format, top 2 seeds get byes, but 7 teams, 14 overall, only the top seed now receives a bye. So Philly was off wildcard round. They beat the Giants last Saturday night in blowout fashion, and now we'll host the NFC Championship game here today. The first time they've done that since they beat the Vikings to get to Super Bowl 52, in which they ended up defeating Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots. As we're 2 weeks away from Super Bowl 57, both teams, 49ers and Eagles, about to take the field. Game on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, along with Aaron Andrews on the call. Bengals, Chiefs on CBS with Jim Nantz and Rambo and Tracy Wilson later on, about 3.5 hours or so. So we're live in the city of brotherly love. The link as should have a good game on our hands. Should have 2 damn good games on our hands, to be honest with you. Down to the wire finishes. What defense is going to bend doesn't break. Run game going to be key, especially in this game here. Both teams have damn good running games, but then damn good defenses. So something's got to give, Turnovers, special teams as always, as well. Could be the difference. We'll see how it plays out, but you're 1 win away from going to the Super Bowl, and you're 2 wins away from winning the Super Bowl. So I'd hope you're playing your best football right now. Philly, arguably at times this season, no doubt about it, has been the best team in the league, even though they did lose a few games. But Jalen Hurts back after he suffered an injury a little over a month ago now, and it starts with him, but it starts with our running game with Boobie Miles Sanders, and then their defense, and they're playing at home, so they have a home field advantage with the crowd. But the 49ers, they're that team I've been saying for the most part all season long. Watch out. If they can put it together, and hell, they're down to their 3rd-string quarterback, for God's sakes. Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, both go down with injuries. In steps the last pick in this past year's NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant, and Brock Purdy, rookie out of Iowa State. San Fran also has a damn good running game and a damn good defense too. So, how does he play on the road in this hostile environment? How does the game start off? Because it was a slow start for both teams until they settle down and settle in. All right, yeah, there's going to be a spark or two before halftime. This game, both games, honestly, going to go deep in the second half, I think, today. But, like, San Fran can't get down early, long story short. They can't put themselves in a hole and then expect to come back. You know, they sort of lucked out last week. You know, Dallas, well, it's playoff time, so there's that. But, you know, Robbie Gould is good as gold. Never missed an extra point or a field goal in his whole entire NFL career in the playoffs. But, you know, they relied on him a little too much. I'll shut up in the meantime. National anthem, so get back to previewing this game in a second and kick off momentarily. And as we see a flyover, as always, want to say thank you to the United States military. Thank you for your service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Thank you. As we'll hit a commercial break and kick off momentarily. It's top of the hour, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. NFC Championship game first this year. AFC to follow. 2 winners to make the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time, Sunday, February the 12th. So let me know in the comments below who you have winning this game and the later game to meet in the Super Bowl. I said last week it's going to be a Super Bowl rematch from Super Bowl 54. I'm going with the 49ers and Chiefs, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's Eagles-Chiefs. Honestly, anything else, you know, Bengals, 49ers potentially. Okay, that's a Super Bowl rematch, potentially for a third time. Joe Montana ain't playing anymore, though, so Bengals don't have a comeback to worry about there by any means, but, you know, they would be going up against the last pick in the draft, with Joe Burrow being the first pick in the draft a few years back. I think the least, you know, possible scenario that I would not like to see, it'd be Bengals-Eagles. Even though it would be a good game, just like there's more with 49ers-Chiefs or Eagles-Chiefs. And like I said, though, too, last week, I think whoever's winning the NFC is winning the Super Bowl. So, I think whoever wins this game today does, in fact, win the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. But as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. So, yeah, before the national anthem, basically just, it's been a long season. It has, for one. And here we are, Championship Sunday. Got 3 more, 3.5, 4, if you want to count the Pro Bowl. Flag football now, literally. You know, football season's over with, and then, you know, we'll get into the spring ball with the spring leagues and such. But both head coaches in both games, honestly, but this game first. Offensive-minded coaches, Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni, they're going to run the football, try to at least down your throat, and it's good luck stopping it. But that's the thing with these defenses. So, with as good as they are, Watch out for play action. Watch out for a deep ball. Supposed to play of some sorts. I wouldn't necessarily say early, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's early. Okay? It is raining, so we'll see how much the weather is a factor. It's going to be cold in the AFC Championship game later on in the teens, which, all right, that's football weather. This is football weather as well. But they'll crank the Rocky theme. They'll chant. And if you're an Eagle fan, as I'm a Steeler fan myself, EAGLES, Eagles. We'll see if they fly today back to the Super Bowl. They're back deep to receive. And Robbie Gould from Lock Haven on to kick off for the 49ers. So, yeah. Will be left to right on the kick, right to left on the return, and Philly's getting the ball to begin the game. So we'll see how much they could try to control it early. Time possession could be key, especially with the run game. These defenses, I mean, we might be in for a barn-burning, low-scoring defensive showdown, like, you know, a field goal game, like 13-10. But it also might be a shootout with as high-powered as these offenses are and can be. Got some pushing and shoving. So it's getting chippy 6 seconds in on the opening kick. But in the meantime, after a pretty good return, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Philadelphia Eagle offense with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. They got Miles Sanders at tailback. A couple good receivers to throw the ball to with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert at tight end in motion. And Hurts looking to throw right off the bat. Caught by Brown, who they traded for from Tennessee. And he gets to the 40-yard line for about a 6, maybe 7-yard gain. Be second and short here. Yeah, I mean, they'll do both. Run to pass, pass to run. Just do whatever the hell you got to do to, you know, get going, honestly. Take what the defense gives you. Nothing stupid. 2nd and 4, they say, after 6-yard gain. From the 40, handoff Sanders, and a 1st down run. So, just chip away. And he got an injured 49er. That's Fred Warner, number 54, holding his right arm. Looks like he's holding his collarbone now on his left side. So not even a minute in, a big injury on defense. As he came in to make the tackle and just... a big hit, but seemingly just a stinger, but he took a bad shot on it. It's football. You know, when you sign up, you're going to, you know, get hurt. Next man up mentality, though. Next man up. That's why you have 53 on the active roster. We'll get into some stats here in a minute, as always. And coming up at halftime, have first half stats and scores. And I mean, at this point in time in the season, can't really recap. I mean, if you know what the hell's happened, you know what the hell's happened. It's, you know, the conference championship Sunday, for God's sakes. There's only 4 teams left. And honestly, you know, the best 4 teams did, in fact, make it to the day. And we'll see who makes the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. But we'll preview what's to come. I mean, we got, like I said, one more game tonight, Pro Bowl next Sunday, and then the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. And we'll know who's playing for the Lombardi in about 7 hours or so. As this game's at 3, be over by, you know, 6:30 at the latest. Other game kicks off at 6:30. You know, be over by 10:30 at the latest. So by late tonight, we'll know who's going to the desert. And as that game will also be on Fox, I'll have live watch interactions over on YouTube then as well, 2 weeks from now, for the Super Bowl 57 already. Hard to believe. been a long season, but season's flown by. No doubt about it. 18 weeks, 17 games. Third week of the playoffs now already. Hopefully you go out and, play your best game. And if it's not your best game, maybe it's your second best game you've played all year. You want to play your best game last game, Super Bowl, if you get there. But yeah, hopefully you're playing some damn good ball. Go out and win, which is all anybody ever remembers. And then, there's 32 teams to start the season. There's 4 left. There's going to be 2 left after tonight. And there's going to be 1 left. Won't be a repeat champ by any means. Still, for the first time in almost 20 years. But minute in, just go out and ball, go out and have fun, go out and play. Hopefully you score more points than your opponent. Hopefully you win, because that's all anybody ever remembers. And then, if you get to that game, you get there. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. And then, like I said, only 32 teams are in the league. Only one's going to be left standing. That's the hard pill to swallow for all 31 others. Yeah, it seemed like he just had a stinger. He seems good to go. He had to come off, but in the meantime, as they had a first down run there by Sanders on the injury, Goddard on a 2-yard catch, so 2nd and 8. Hurts going to roll out far side, maybe a yard if he's lucky. So 3rd and 7 here for the Philly offense, as they're right around midfield here. But pressure, with as good as these defenses are, front 4s, front 7s, forcing turnovers. 3rd and 8s like this, not manageable for the offense. Like, put the pressure on your opponent, not yourself. You're going to show blitz, they bring the house. Pass is almost picked off and then caught by A.J. Brown. I don't know how the hell Hurts got rid of that. I don't know how the hell Brown caught it, but he did. Should have been sacked right there. And then, that's the catch. That is the catch. That's a first down for Philly. I'd take a shot. Why not? 1st and 10, out past midfield, ball 42-yard line. I'd go deep down the middle. Out of the gun. They'll run a draw. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10. I'd still take a shot. Why not? I get you're trying to work the sticks. You're trying to, at least get some points here on your opening drive. Because, and going back to, like I said, about San Fran last week, settling for 3 a little too much. I mean, when you have a damn good kicker, though, you're going to kick it. But you're going to want to take your points if you can get them. Because you don't know if you're going to need them late. That might be the difference. That, okay, well, look back on it later. Well, I probably should have kicked it rather than go for it, or if we didn't turn it over and, blah, blah, blah. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Yeah, if you can get some points, if drive stalls, kick field goal, so be it. Hurts rolls out, and then it's picked off, but they say out of bounds, incomplete. So 3rd and 10 with 11:11 to play in the first. So say those wishes on who you want to get to the Super Bowl, whether that's this year, next year, the year after that, anytime in the future. Any wish for anything for that matter, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in once again and listening. But, 3rd and 10 now, I'm just looking to get a couple yards. Maybe kick a long field goal. Empty set. I'm looking for something 5, 6, 7 yards over the middle. Yeah, got it right there. Hit him. Caught it. See if they give him forward progress. Be 35-yard line for about a 53-yard field goal, give or take. They're going to go for it, though. At least line up, show they're going to go for it. But, 7 yards there, 4th and 3 coming up. Crowd likes it for the time being, but if they don't get it, they're going to hate it. So maybe just try to draw them off sides. Let's play clock, which is at 15 right now. Drain down. Call a timeout. I wouldn't take delay a game by any means. False start would be crucial too. Back yourself up and then have to punt when you can kick it. They'll go for it though. 4th and 3. Hurts going to roll out. And deep. What a catch at the 5-yard line by Devontae Smith. 1st and goal, Philly. Wow. Just how in the hell did he catch that? But that's the Alabama connection. They're going to go hurry up, too. They're going to look to punch it in here. 1st and goal, just nothing stupid. Hurts all day to throw. All day. Pump fakes and then gets rid of it, and it's incomplete, intended for Kenneth Gainwell. 4th and 3 from the 35, and they get a 30-yard completion on a play that was dead from the start. That's all Hurts, running around making a play and then finding Smith and then an even better catch. One-handed snag, and they got a 1st and goal, incomplete now. 2nd and goal from the 6.5, 7-yard line, they say. So I'd get back to the run game. Run Miles Sanders. 3, 2, 1. Barely get it off. Hand off, Sanders up the middle. Touchdown, Philly. So the Eagles strike first. 5 minutes or so in. 6-0 pending upcoming extra point. And, all right, so San Fran, offensively, they haven't been on the field yet, but defensively, they just gave a touchdown, and they're down 7-0. They're in a hole. Like I said, don't want to get in a hole early. See what they do offensively. Cut the lead, tie it up. Might be back and forth until it then slows down. Philly's a better first-half team than they are a second-half team. They score a ton of points in the second quarter alone, okay? They just drive, 65, 70 yards on the opening drive and, go up 7-0 here. So, no, the rubber band man is Teak. I don't know why they're saying that's... Well, I guess he did play for the Phillies too, but he's a Pirate. Just that, Hurts making plays. Hurts so good. And what can Brown do for you, along with Devontae Smith? And then Miles Sanders punches it in. It's like, hey, you want to stop this guy? Well, you also got to stop this guy. And if you want to stop this guy, well, you got to stop this other guy too. And then if you want to stop this other guy, well, there's one more person and maybe another person on top of that. Like, they have weapons upon weapons. It's ridiculous. That's for both of these teams, just not the Philadelphia Eagles. Just wait till San Fran gets out there. From down to their third-string quarterback, Brock Purdy. They'll be without Elijah Mitchell at tailback, but McCaffrey, after they traded for him from Carolina, the Panthers were the first team to fire head coach Matt Rule. He's in Nebraska now. Wish him well. They're the first team to also hire a new head coach, and that's Frank Reich, after he was fired by the Colts, who were the second team to make a coaching change. Jeff Saturday promoted interim. Could get the job long-term, full-time. We'll see. So the coaching carousel has been spinning. Everything's filled in college football, head coach-wise. NFL, from the Panthers to the Colts to the Broncos to the Texans and the Cardinals. Those 5 openings, one has been filled. Frank Reich in Carolina. San Fran traded for McCaffrey around the deadline. And adding him to the fold, Kyle Shanahan wanting to run the football and then run play action off of it. This 49er offense is what the Bronco offense was back Super Bowl 31 and Super Bowl 32 when John Elway and Terrell Davis were running the show with Kyle's dad and Mike Shanahan, the former head coach of the Broncos at the point in time, who also then took over in Washington with the Skins, had Kyle, had McVay, had LaFleur, had McDaniel on staff as well. Look what they're doing around the league. Look at that coaching tree, among others. Sirianni has bounced around as a coordinator as of late. Data, high school coach for a long time. Sometimes you got to get back to the basics and, keep it simple. Here comes Brock Purdy. Brock Lesnar was in the Royal Rumble last night. He'll be taking on Bobby Lashley, it looks like, at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 39, April 1st, 2nd of this year. WrestleMania 40 will be in Philly next year. But neither here nor there, but no, from Purdy at quarterback to McCaffrey in the backfield, there's Kyle Juszczyk at fullback in motion, going to line up by himself, bottom of your screen. Purdy looking to throw, slant over the middle, caught George Kittle for 9 yards. And his catch around midfield is when they got rolling in the second half, as it was, 9-6 at halftime. And then, back and forth. But then they scored early fourth quarter and then held on to win. And now here we are today. But at receiver, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings out of the pistol. Juszczyk with a good block. They were running on 2nd and 1, but McCaffrey going nowhere. No gain on the play. 3rd and short, 3rd and a yard here for the 49ers. Get up there and sneak it. Get up there and sneak it. Maybe an end around. No, they'll hand off McCaffrey again up the middle. Get the first down. That's first down. Yeah. It all starts up front. You better block to run. Like I said earlier, we're going to see a lot of running today. We're going to see a lot of play action pass and a lot of damn good defense. Brock Purdy's the 3rd youngest NFL starting quarterback to start a conference championship game, just behind Ben Roethlisberger, who in his rookie year in 2004 led Pittsburgh to the AFC championship game with a 15-1 record before they fortunately lost to the New England Patriots, who then beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 39, cut out of Pennsylvania Super Bowl that year, cut out of Pennsylvania Super Bowl a few years ago, I might add, as well. Of course, Pittsburgh then won the following year in Super Bowl 40. Got a first flag, first penalty of the game. What's the dirty laundry from the Zebras? 8:02 to play in the first. Surprisingly, it's took this long. And John Hussey with a P is our whitecapper today. Maybe a hold or an offside. Penalties declined. First down. I mean, if they thought he lined up off sides, he obviously lined up off sides. I mean, you can't get much more clear than that. Samuel in the backfield with Purdy, who has been pretty good. He's undefeated as a starting quarterback. And they've won, 11, 12 in a row now. Samuel on the give, Deebo to midfield for about 3, maybe 4 yards, second down coming up. But yeah, I mean, remember, they drafted Trey Lance out of North Dakota State in 2021. 3rd overall, they had to give up a lot for him to trade up to select him. He basically, redshirted his rookie year, sat behind Jimmy G. And then, this year, coming in the year, it's like, okay, they can move on from Jimmy G. Well, remember, he got hurt, had off-season surgery. Purdy gets hit, ball's deflected, and it's picked off, and then dropped. Philly has, they might say, interception and then a fumble. they might say fumble off the start rather than just, incomplete, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. Yeah. Well, they pushed him in. Blind side not there. And hit the hand, and ball came out, and it's going to be incomplete, but 3rd and 6. Philly's going to challenge, so it'll be 3rd and long if they'd win it. He wants to say fumble rather than incomplete. In the meantime, San Fran's trying to get up there and snap it. Philly's talking with the refs to challenge it, and then the Water Boys run on the field. So all hell's breaking loose. That's closed. The thing is they have to find a bit of evidence to return it. Philly's going to challenge. We'll see if it's worth it. When it's all said and done here, it's going to be 3rd and 6 or 3rd and... Well, I mean, he didn't get sacked, though. It was a strip sack. And then Philly would have the ball then, I guess, 1st down. Yeah, so I guess this is a decent challenge. You lose it, though, you're down to 1 challenge the rest of the game and 2 timeouts the rest of the first half. Because instead it was picked off and then fumbled, it's still Philly ball. If they say fumble from the start, it's Philly ball. If they say incomplete as they did, it's 3rd and 6 for San Fran. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the 49ers or 1st and 10 for Eagles. No in between. They have to find an bit of evidence to return it. We'll see if they have it or not. Call on the field was incomplete, so that's going to be close. But yeah, we'll see what they say. So I'll leave it at that for now. But just overall, you lose this challenge. It seems like it's a good challenge, but it seems like it's going to be one of those that, that's tuck roll is all that is. That they might win, but they might not. It's clear, but it's not crystal clear. Walking that fine line, I know it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It's just one of those that... Thing is, the call on the field was incomplete, so indisputable evidence to return it. We'll see if it's confirmed or stands, because there's a difference, in that regard too. That's in live time, and they seemingly made the right call on the field, incomplete. Now, after review here with the challenge, coming back from commercial break, we'll see what they say. They're still looking at it. After review, it's fumbled, and then Philly recovered. Okay. So it's Eagle ball, 1st and 10. Yeah, that's a fumble. And then it was caught and then dropped, but then recovered on the fumble. It's a good thing he picked that up. If not, San Fran probably still maintains possession. Philly could still challenge it that way, it'd be back to 3rd and 6 rather than, field position. They're going forward, it'd be 1st down for them. They challenge with the fumble. They win the challenge. They keep their 2 challenges. They keep their timeout here. And they get the ball back, already up 7, 6:56 to play in the first quarter here, 1st and 10 to the 44. And Hurts hands off. Miles Sanders, and 2 yards for him far side. So 2nd and 8, but only about a yard actually. And now Purdy's getting checked out. They're going to check his right hand. If he's not going to be playing quarterback for the 49ers, then who the hell is? He'll give it a go. He'll try to go back in if he can. That'd be something, though, Something simple like that, that's what keeps him out. It's Josh Johnson. If it's not going to be Brock Purdy. And And Josh Johnson, man, he's bounced around. He's been seemingly on every NFL team, every Alliance team, every XFL team, every USFL team, every other team and every other professional football league that's out there. Josh Johnson seemingly has played for it. He's the backup quarterback for the 49ers today, if in fact Brock Purdy can't re-enter this game because of a hand injury, because of that hit on the strip sack. They'd be down to their 4th-string then quarterback in this NFC Championship game. They're red hot, but now these Eagles, playing at home, up 7, get the turnover, and try to warm up. He should be all right, though. But just FYI, if it's not Brock Purdy, it's Josh Johnson, number 17. In the meantime, well, the 49ers are going to get the ball back, so that challenge worked out for the Eagles, but then it didn't. Would have been even worse if they, I think lost it, still got the ball back, and then still had to punt like they did there. Because they win the challenge, they get the 1st and 10, but then they go 3 and out. Take up a couple of minutes, but go 3 and out. And they punt, so it'll be 49er football. Once again, 1st and 10, still down 7-0. So, yeah, time possession is key there in that regard now. Remember, Philly took about over 5 minutes on their open drive. Their 5 minute shows come off the clock. Since San Fran's touched the ball, but then turned it over, Eagles with 3 and out. San Fran getting the ball back, but you're back to where it was though. 7-0. So you're not even a bigger hole than what you were, which is a good sign for them. And another good thing is, for them too right now, Brock Purdy, seemingly isn't, seriously injured by any means. Right hand injury though for a right-handed quarterback who's, throwing the football with his right hand, his right arm, whether he's a rookie, whether he's a 15-year vet, especially in a game of this magnitude, this big, yeah, no doubt about it. That's a big injury. We'll see if as he'll be good to go, but plays affected at all. Long story short. I'd run the ball. I'd see if you can, break one potentially. Keep it simple and dump offs if you are going to throw. Maybe you take a shot. He just honestly, he needed to get hit. It felt like to, play through those first few plays, and then he gets hit again, and then the fumble, and then it hurts his hand. But neither here nor there. It really doesn't matter. It's football. A game like this, you're going to play. Nothing's keeping you out. Unless, you're getting carted off. No, I'm going back in. I got all off season to recover from whatever injury I have then at that point. But no, talk about the quarterback situation. Down the 3rd-string quarterback, maybe another 4th-string, if he gets injured or re-aggravates it, of some sorts. We'll see how, plays out, but yeah, they go from Trey Lance to Jimmy G, both injured. Brock Purdy, who they drafted, but seemingly their future is still Trey Lance. But I think they're going to have to bite the bullet on him. Actually, Purdy came out and then came off, so Josh Johnson is in at quarterback now for the 49ers. I can't throw. He can't throw the football. Yeah, what a turn of events for sure. 4:50 to play in the first quarter, and San Fran's got their backup 4th-string quarterback now in the ball game for the NFC Championship game, for God's sakes. And now they're definitely going to have to run the football. Christian McCaffrey for 4 yards, and Philadelphia knows it. So, does Josh Johnson ball out? Does Josh Johnson get the 49ers Super Bowl? Purdy going to go in the locker room? Probably not. And even though it's 7-0, Josh Johnson, who's been around, only has 2 pass attempts this season. This game honestly might be fucking over. unless San Fran can capitalize with a run game, there's a play action, they sack them back at the 12, let alone their defense make stops, and then special teams helps them out too. Hassan Reddick from Temple. He's played for the Cards, the Panthers, now back in Philly with the Eagles. He was the one to hit Purdy. A little bit of a glitch on Fox, but back to it. You gonna say fumble? No, I think he'd be down. That's dual possession. Yeah, he's down. Right there, he's down. Be what? 3rd and long though. 3rd and 15, back at the 15. So I mean, honestly, Hassan Reddick's wrecking havoc. There's a flag on the play. They ran a bubble screen to Debo near side, but they blow it dead. 3:23 to play in the first, and then a delay of game. So now San Fran. Remember, they went to the Super Bowl 54, with Jimmy G, who they traded for from New England in October 17th, the deadline. 2020 was 2020 for everyone. They had a lot of injuries. They get back to the NFC Championship game last year, come up just short on the road. Get the NFC Championship game again this year. They're already down. Seemingly they're going to come up short again just because of an injury at quarterback again. So just been the name of the game of the season. McCaffrey on a draw on 3rd and 15. Gets almost all of it, but it'll be 4th and about 3. So they'll punt, play field position, punt, pin them deep. Their defense going to have to make a ton of stops. Turnovers, special teams, like I said, going to have to make some plays. They need a spark or two. Purdy back out on the sideline already, but he said he can't throw the ball. It's a right hand injury. Remember Trey Lance? San Fran will punt. On a fake punt, maybe? No. Boom it, and then it takes a bounce to about the 30. So 1st and 10, San Fran from there, but there's a flag on the play late too. Let's see what that is. So now the injury bug's hitting them in all phases, all 3 aspects: offense, defense, and special teams. Anything and everything that could go wrong for the 49ers right now has gone wrong for the 49ers today. Got a penalty on the return against the Eagles. So it'll be 1st and 10. See where they spot the ball at when we come back. But Purdy's out for the time being. He honestly probably needs to. I know he said he can't throw the ball. He should still be warming up, seeing if he can try to throw the football. You can't just sit there and let your hand get cold, cramp up, and then, expect to throw it then, because you're going to, be worse off. If Purdy can't come back in, the 49ers are fucked. We all thought the same, though, too, when Trey Lance went down, even though knowing what Jimmy G has. But then also when Jimmy G went down to Brock Purdy. And he's just gone out and, balled out. Undefeated as a starter. They've won, like I said, 11 or 12 straight? Yeah, Josh Johnson's a journeyman quarterback, reliable at times, but in a game like this, against this defense, there's no fucking chance in hell. This game's over. Philly's going to win. Unless, a big if, the Eagles do something stupid, shoot themselves in the foot doing, this or that. 49ers need a stop or two on defense, need turnovers, need, help on special teams for sure, like a blocked punt, a big return of some sorts. A run game needs to step up too, but knowing, they're going to run it, Philly's going to, stop them, they try to run play action, and they sack his ass. So it's going to be a long game for San Fran at this point. It sucks, happened early, be a different story, maybe late, and then, maybe they find a way to win, and then, okay, the next 2 weeks is what's the status. One of those. But yeah, remember, they brought in Jimmy G from New England. They then drafted Trey Lance, thinking he's the future. Gave up a lot for him, trading up the 3rd overall pick in the draft to select him out of North Dakota State once again. Sat behind Jimmy G last year. They're going to move on from Jimmy G, but at the same point in time, they didn't think Trey Lance was ready. Well, good insurance policy for Garoppolo to come back, because then Trey Lance went down early. Garoppolo steps in, they continue to win, but then Garoppolo goes down. And then insert Brock Purdy, who they drafted Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft. He was, one pick away from being an undrafted rookie free agent and able to sign anywhere. Rookie out of Iowa State from Ames, Iowa. Could be going back to the desert in Arizona, his home state where he grew up, to potentially play in the Super Bowl, but down injured now and have to rely on this defense to make stops, and we'll see if he can go back in or not. It's a right hand, right arm injury. He got hit and it was a fumble. Eagles didn't do anything with it by any means. And then the 49ers got the ball back and had to punt themselves. The Eagles had the ball back again, 1st and 10, up 7-0 here as we near the end of the first quarter. So, anything and everything that, could go wrong has gone wrong, honestly, for the 49ers for early. Philly, touchdown, and then a punt. See what they do here. 3rd time might be a charm. But, like I said early, San Fran can't put themselves in a hole. Even with that, you're going to be down to your 4th-string quarterback if he can't come back in, which he hasn't just yet. And they're fucked. Long story short, the 49ers are fucked. So, Philly, this game's theirs for the taking. Unless they do something stupid, so we'll see what happens. Quarterback draw, the play was dead from the start, empty set, and they read it damn good on defense and got to him, and 3rd and 10 coming up for Philly. Yeah. Which I think it might have been a quarterback draw to begin with, but after the snap like that, he just took off and ran. They'll have to snap it here once more. 3rd and 9 officially, but yeah, about a 15-second differential between the game clock and play clock. And a late whistle, maybe a timeout. Yeah, all right. 20 seconds play in the first. 3rd 9 for Philly. They're up 7. They got 2 timeouts now left. Split screen commercials. We'll get back to the action shortly. Andy Reid better get ready for tonight's game rather than continue to drop mustaches on random ass people on airplanes. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Yeah, if I'm San Fran, this just flat out sucks. Purdy's starting to warm back up on the sideline, though. Yeah, like I said, he probably, should just continue to warm up as much as he can, see if he can throw the football rather than saying he can. I mean, at first, yeah, a hit like that, you're probably not going to be able to, but then, give it some time. Just go back out and, see if you can throw. Get the run game going, hopefully. Then maybe you actually do throw the football, take what the defense gives you. I mean, throwing the football and then running the offense are 2 totally different things, especially with an injury like that. Be a different story if it was his left hand. Deep ball to A.J. Brown, incomplete. Or just the opposite hand, like if you're a left-handed quarterback and then you're right hand. I mean, you're still going to have to hold the ball, to throw, but, you're not throwing with your left hand if you're right-handed, unless you're, what do they call that? Somebody who can write, let alone throw with both hands. I think it starts with an A. I'm drawing a blank. Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, deep ball, incomplete. They'll punt to end the quarter, and San Fran getting the ball back. So the 49ers get themselves in it. Whoa, that's a bad punt. See where they spot that at. Maybe the 40-yard line. Flag on the play as well. More pushing and shoving. He's still walking. He's to midfield.
Squares on what's possible, the possibilities that unfold in this game. There's a lot of guys on the field that are pointing up at the wire.
Well, that sucks if it hit the wire. And if it did, they might blow it dead and re-kick. But then San Fran's going to be like, no, like, fuck that. We're taking the ball here. We're going out of bounds.
You see a lot of conversation that the Philadelphia players are pretty adamant that that's what happened. See what the penalty was.
Got a legal block. We use hands to the face on Philly. Yeah. Okay. Being forced on the kick. Okay, so one, where the fuck did the ball go out of bounds? Because they still haven't spotted it yet, for one. Then there's the penalty.
The appearances kind of showed that. Now, if it did, then you basically have a penalty.
They're checking to see if it hit the wire. Well, can we see a replay of it? Can we see a replay of the punt? It's going to be San Fran ball, 1st and 10. Where did the ball go out of bounds, though, is the question. If it didn't hit the wire. Now, if it did, that's a different story. You got to look at it. Where the hell is the replay? And now there's nothing. It's just going to be 1st and 10 49ers. Okay, so where's the ball spotted at? Because they never spotted it. It looked around, midfield, 45-yard line, give or take. 9 seconds still to play in the first quarter here. Got a lot to unfold, for sure. The penalty's going to be enforced. Tacked on after the punt. But where's the ball spotted at? Or if they make him re-kick, then you have the penalty and you back him up and kick from there. So they're saying the ball hit the wire, but we still have yet to see a replay of it. Nobody knows if the ball actually hit the wire or not. We cannot confirm. Okay, here's the replay. And, all right, he did get it to about the 40-yard line on the punt. So it'll be about 1st and 10 49ers from midfield. But they're going to say it didn't hit the wire. There's not enough evidence. They honestly just flat out don't know. Yeah, 1st and 10 Niners from midfield. Going to look to tie this game up at 7 still. Josh Johnson still in at quarterback, looking to throw. Down the middle, caught by Debo. 8 yards, pushed out of bounds. 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it for the first quarter of the NFC Championship game today. It's 7-0 Eagles, but a 2nd and 2 coming up for the 49ers. So that was, as Purdy starts to warm back up on the sideline. That was eventful, to say the least. Yeah, I don't think, honestly, anybody knew what the hell 1 happened, 2 was going on, 3, what the call was going to be, and, okay, there's the penalty, and then it's like, okay, is this it? But no, and then fucking take a half hour to decide if the ball hit the wire or not for the camera, which they said they're not sure, so wasn't clear enough. And then they show a replay of it, just right at the end, and who knows? Honestly, who cares? It's 1st and 10 49ers. Ball in Eagle territory now. Just honestly still make this a good game, Give Purdy some time to, rest, get healthy. warm up that right hand again, see if he's good to go. If not, then they're probably still fucked. If he could come back in, be interesting. If not, then, they're done for, it seems like. I mean, Josh Johnson, they're an 8-yard completion to Debo, but yeah, they gotta get the playmakers the ball in space for sure. They're gonna run the football. You need a big play or two. Need stops on defense. Need special team help as well. They're gonna take their points as any way they can fucking get them. So Robbie Gould might be kicking a ton of field goals again. And hey, take your points. Why the hell not? Because Philly was the opening drive touchdown, but since then they haven't done shit. They punted twice, and then they complaining the ball hit the wire. Well, nobody knows if it hit the wire or not. I mean, yeah, maybe in live time on the field you actually saw it, but there's no clear-cut replay of it. You would think there would be with all the cameras they have, but no, nothing. So there's nothing else to it. There's nothing you can do. You just play on. Use that as an advantage. Use that as fuel to the fire. Like, hey, they're not necessarily trying to fuck us, but let's just play through it. Fuck them though. But San Fran, we'll see if they can make this a ball game. If not, it's probably still over with. But Philly can't, just hold on to a 7-0 lead and, honestly think that's enough. It's 7-0 to begin the second quarter here. It'll be 2nd and 2 coming up for the 49ers. That was Josh Johnson's first playoff completion. It's a little hard to believe. I know he's been around, and like I said earlier, he's played, honestly, in every fucking team and every fucking league that football has. I thought he would have at least completed at least one pass in the NFL playoffs before, but I guess not. So 2nd in the yard, to hand off McCaffrey up the middle, 1st down, Niners. So they're in field goal range for Robbie Gould. They can cut this lead here early second quarter. Go drive and score and tie it up potentially too. It's a right elbow injury, not a right hand injury. So are they maybe worried about Tommy John? He put his helmet back on, I might add, which is a good sign. He's going to read off plays, but they got seemingly him in some sort of bandage. It's wrapped up. I don't know if that's ice by any means, but there's a couple towels and a brace of some sort, maybe some heat. See if that elbow is going to be good to go. In the meantime, Josh Johnson's going to be in at quarterback. And, they had a delay game with the sack, and now a delay game here. It's been a punt contest, so, since the opening touchdown. You had the injury, you had, a couple penalties come in on top of that, including that. You had the controversy on the punt, whether the ball, hit the camera wire or not. Who knows? Honestly, who cares? Just play through it. But 1st and 15 now, back at the 39. And Josh Johnson, no delay game there. Gets the snap off, going to tuck and run on a draw, and then gets rid of it late, but incomplete. Throws him in the turf. Was he down? Was it a sack? Was it, 2nd and 17 now? They say 2nd down regardless. So why are they showing a replay of that from early in the game? Oh, because he bobbled it. That's the catch, though. That's the catch. Or they are saying that was incomplete earlier and they lucked out. In the meantime, he was sacked, so 2nd and 20. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Debo. This is batted down by the former Steeler, Javon Hargrave. I'm looking for Kittle down the middle of the field. I'm getting the ball to McCaffrey. I'm getting the ball to Debo Samuel, man. 3rd and 20, though. I'd say, yeah, why not take a shot, but why not get 10 yards and kick a field goal? Keep it simple, nothing stupid. You cannot take a sack here. You can have 4th and a mile at midfield where this drive started at. Out of the gun. Just get to the 35-yard line, just flag on the play. Over the middle, it's incomplete. Actually, the ball's loose. McCaffrey falls on it. So another fumble on a strip sack rather than incomplete. Flag on the play. We'll see what that is. Jesus Christ. I wanted a flag on every fucking play. It's going to be on San Fran. Be illegal motion. Yeah. Penalties decline. 4th down, they'll punt. Yeah. I don't know how the hell they don't get points off that, but they don't. So Philly back deep to receive the punt here. Penalties cost them, even though down to their 4th string quarterback. Penalties are killer, man. San Fran punts. It'll be fair caught at the 6, so be 1st and 10 Eagles. From there, when we come back, it is 7-0 Eagles. So 13 minutes to play on the dot in the first half. 7-0 Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line when we come back. San Fran's defense, if they keep them in this game, Purdy then comes back, or if he can't, and then they get rolling on offense, watch out. But I think we're a long ways away from that, because they're honestly, still fucked. Long story short. I mean, because they weren't doing shit when he was in there. They haven't done shit, since he left. Philly, though, they scored in the opening drive, and they punted a couple times since. So it now has slowed down. And, now, honestly, something's got to give. What does in the end? Who knows? We're about to find out. That's why the game is going to get played. It's on paper, it's on the field. But if I'm Philly here before halftime, as San Fran will get the ball back at the beginning of the second half, I'm going to, try to do some damage, most possibly can. I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to work some clock here before half and score again. Try to, at least, field goal, touchdown. San Fran should have had some points on that drive. Robbie Gould should have at least attempted a field goal. And he probably would have made it, okay? Should have at least attempted a field goal. After all that, they start out 1st and 10 from midfield. And then when they punt, it's 4th and 20 from the 45. Okay? Like, they went forward, but then they went backwards. The sack hurt. A couple penalties hurt. And, the pressure, and he's a deer in headlights, even though he's been a journeyman quarterback. Man, just, even on simple dump-offs, they're in the dirt, it's incomplete. Like, that's what I'm saying. San Fran has to figure something out other than on offense at the quarterback position. Just not now and not in the future. They, as the president's wife, first lady, is cheating on his old ass with the commissioner of the NFL. They got to get the run game going. They got to, get McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. I mean, they haven't gone to any of the receivers at all yet. Kittle has a catch, and their defense needs stops. If the thing is, their defense get a turnover for them, maybe a defensive touchdown, maybe, some just good field in general, special teams play. San Fran will be okay for the time being, but then late, time might not be on their side if Philly can work the clock right now. So 2nd and 11 for the Eagles from the 5-yard line. And Hurts fakes the give. They almost sack him for a safety. They'll bring him down to 1. Eagles luck out. Yeah, so going back, that's why they were showing that replay of the Devontae Smith catch. it was a catch on the field, but they think it would have been incomplete if they would have looked at it. But they got up to the line too fast, didn't have a chance to review it, let alone challenge it if it was coming from San Fran's side. And then they ended up scoring. So if they don't have the touch, I mean, this game's tied at 0. I mean, it's 7-0. It's a one-score game, a couple minutes in the second quarter here. But remember, second quarter for the Eagles all season long, this is when they do their damage. But Hurts, far side, incomplete. So they're going to have to punt from the back of their end zone and make sure that wire's as high as it can get so they don't kick it this time. You know, so they don't have to, you know, delay the game again. So it's back and forth, punt, 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 after the opening drive touchdown to begin the game. So 7-0. And 49ers getting the ball back. Oh, they almost blocked it. And it takes a bounce. They field it about midfield. Ray Mysterio McLeod on the return for about 5-6 yards or so to the 46. So, 1st and 10, San Fran. Good field position again. Should have had a field goal on their last drive. Should get points on this drive if they can move the ball. They were able to move the ball last drive, but then they went backward and had to punt. So they shot themselves in the foot with those penalties. You know, you just can't do anything stupid. You got to move forward, and they should have got points. Be down the 7th or maybe tie it up. You know, for all we know. Score here again. A whole different ball game. Whole new ball game. You know, for that matter. You know, 7-3, 7-6, 7-7, maybe 10-7, 14-7 for that matter. You know, anywhere in between. Like, San Fran's had chances now. And that's why you got to have a quarterback. Which they do, but they don't. Another way to put it, okay? Josh Johnson's been around for as long as he's been around because he's reliable. But like I said earlier, situations like this, you know, not accustomed to it, not used to it. Honestly, other than that, like I said, that's why they need a running game. That's why they need good defense. Their defense playing well. In special teams, they're in good field position now too. They got to capitalize off of it. All right. We'll see if Brock comes back, by any means or not. You know, because if he does, like I said, watch out. If he doesn't, then they're probably still fucked. But even with that, they still haven't, you know, been honestly, you know, frustrated by any means, flustered, if you will. You know, since that they're playing through it, playing through the adversity, and they're getting by the skin of their ass. To be honest with you, so they got to get some points. They should have had points from the last drive. They got to get points here. They got to keep themselves in it. You know, because what's Philly doing? What has Philly done since the opening drive? Same thing San Fran's done. Not a goddamn thing. Okay, so. Yeah, it's really slowed down. It's that defense. On both sides. What defense is going to bend doesn't break late? And honestly, whoever, you know, doesn't is going to win this game. So they're saying it's a right elbow injury for Brock Purdy, who now puts a coat on to stay warm. Josh Johnson still on at quarterback. And from the 46, they'll fake the give, dump off on a screen to McCaffrey. Good block. And he's got a convoy and almost enough for a first down. From just short, it looks like about a half a yard away from first down. 2nd and inches for the 49ers. Yeah, run the screen game. Why the hell not? Keep it short and sweet. Keep it simple. You know? And then, you know, you're going to run the ball too. You're going to take a shot here probably. I'd be going to Kittle. I mean, you're right on the cusp of the red zone. But remember, last time they were here, this is when they started going backwards and they had to punt when they should have got points. You know? So 2nd and less than a yard. Debo in motion. And they'll toss to McCaffrey near side, and he'll get a first down. All right, yeah. Put the team on your back. Put the team on your back. And I guess if the 49ers would win, yeah, Purdy would get credit for the win because he started. But Josh Johnson, quarterback, for the most part of the game. The big story would be, well, all right, going to the Super Bowl, who's the starting quarterback? Like, I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams, Josh Johnson included himself, that he'd be starting a fucking Super Bowl this year, if it comes down to it, if they find a way to win this. 1st and 10 from the 34. They jumped off sides. No flag, though. Dump off to McCaffrey over the middle. Another screen and 1st down. Yeah. Give him the ball. Give the ball to Christian McCaffrey and let him work. Have him be a bell cow. Run the ball. Dump off on screens. Maybe run a wheel route with him here into the end zone. He bobbled it, but he caught it and then got a 1st down. And it should have been a 1st and 5 to begin with. They say 2nd and yard again, just short. They'll sneak it, and Josh Johnson gets the 1st down. So 1st down for sure now for the 49ers again, right at the 23-yard line. And I'd be getting the ball to number 23, Christian McCaffrey. I would. But get the ball to Kittle, too. Just nothing stupid. You can't be turning the ball over. You got to get some points now. You got to cut this lead, tie it up for sure. Can't be going backwards and having to punt again. They're going to blow the whistle. A little bit of delay. And chain gang issue again at home at the link for the Eagles. Remember last weekend the chain got unhooked. There's Trey Lance. There's Jimmy G. There's Brian Greasy, who, of course, former Michigan quarterback. Before Tom Brady won a national championship in Ann Arbor. Son of Bob Greasy, who was the quarterback of the 17 Dolphins. Recently, as he's, bounced around the league, starting quarterback, working in broadcasting, but then first year as the quarterback coach in San Fran. And, talk about storyline there, too. 1st and 10, though, for the Niners, yeah. Get the ball to McCaffrey. Work him. Pull some sleds. So out of the eye. Josh Johnson going to fake the toss, roll out, nobody there, and then throws it away, incomplete. Intended for Ayuk. Lucky they didn't call intentional grounding on that. If, he would have ran another 5 yards back before he threw it. Because that was dead right there. They should have been sacked. Luckily, he got rid of it. But yeah, keep it simple. Which, they do to begin with. But, you're down to your 4th string quarterback now in the NFC Championship game, for God's sakes. Like, Brock Purdy's hurt. Ends Josh Johnson, 2nd and 10 from the 23, and they give the 23 McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey bulldozing his way into the end zone, touchdown Niners. And they're an extra point away from tying this game up at 7 with 8:29 to play in the first half. And remember, they'll get the ball to begin the second half. They say, we don't care if our quarterback's hurt. We still got playmakers, and you still got to stop us on defense. Because offensively, just like us until now, none of us have done shit. A simple handoff. He should have been tackled there, and then he bounced it. And yeah, this is Christian McCaffrey's offense the rest of the game. If Philly wants to win, they're going to have to stop him, plain and simple. Robbie Gould's extra point up and good 7-piece. 8:29 to play in the half. Eagles going to get the ball back, but Christian McCaffrey drive. It's going to have to be the Christian McCaffrey game for the 49ers if they want to win this to get the Super Bowl. Run the damn ball. Run game travels in the playoffs. Both teams have it. We'll see what Philly can do here soon. But then it still circles back to what defense. As defense wins you championships, what defense is going to bend but doesn't break? 7-7. Midway through the second quarter here. It got crazy there a little bit. With all the penalties and just a lot of shit going on. It's like, all right, whatever. We're going to play through it and, all right. Yeah, 7-7. What does Philly do? What does Philly do to respond? How do they respond? They have not once again done anything since the opening drive. Flat out haven't. They haven't. There's no other way to put it. So, I mean, this is going to get interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. It seems like Brock Purdy is going to be done. So it's going to be Josh Johnson, at quarterback. I mean, that was the third drive for him at quarterback. Now, if Brock comes back, yeah, Philly's going to get after him. But then San Fran's going to hope they still have a running game, of course, which they do. And I think they have a better running game. We'll look at the stats in a minute, but just stats aside, how this game's played out, just feel-wise, it feels like that. Yeah, they have a better running game than the Eagles do. 49ers are on top, and they just tied it up at 7, but still, you get my point. Just we'll see what happens, but yeah, if he comes back, you go back to the way you're going to run your offense to begin with. So yeah, we'll see. I don't have anything else for the time being, so I'll leave it at that. So have to see. We're deadlocked at 7, and like I said earlier, hopefully you're playing your best ball here now, this time of the year, and get the Super Bowl. That's McCaffrey's 9th straight game with a touchdown. Longest streak since T.O. did it back in '98. Holy shit. That's impressive. So, Robbie Gould kicks off again. And we'll have a knee, so touchback and a 1st and 10 Eagles from the 25. 7-7. Eagles will try to do something before half, because if they don't, San Fran does something early third quarter. Pressure's on Philly. San Fran can do some damage. Thought it was going to be Philly doing the damage, but it's San Fran with their 4th string quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Eagles. And a handoff. Hurts. Sanders for 4. 2nd down and 6. Yeah, but since then, what have they done? Nothing. Yeah, 11 plays, 66-yard touchdown drive. Last 3 drives, they've run 10 total plays and only gotten 13 yards. So do the math there. Not good. Overall, not good. And they just gave up their lead. They are now tied, 7-7, with 7:57 to play in the half. 2nd and 6. Or from the Lincoln, Philly, for them to championship game. 49ers, Eagles. And maybe 3-4 yards, 3rd and short. Nice gang tackle there. Let's talk about these head coaches, these coordinators. Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon, as of course Kyle Shanahan calls plays, as Sirianni does too for the Eagles, but D'Amico Ryans seemingly going to get a head coaching gig, and it might be with his former team, the Houston Texans. Hurts on a quarterback keeper. They're going to mark him short. Be 4th and inches. And no, you punt here. You don't go for this. Not fucking from your own 35-yard line. No way in hell. No chance. Well, if you get it, okay, prove me wrong. If you don't, then told you so. Because then you're giving them a short field. They're going to get it up and sneak it anyway. And they do get it all right. But that situation, you punt, You pin them deep. You play field position. You make a stop on defense, get the ball back again, try it again. Yeah, the low man wins. Yep. I don't get why people don't like Greg Olsen. I don't. This Fox crew is, of course, not what it used to be with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who now work for ESPN for Monday Football as the top crew. Then it's Al Michaels and Herbie. Then Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen, followed by Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, in my opinion. And Greg Olsen's going to be the odd man out when Brady does, in fact, retire, which I don't think he's going to this year. Like I said with that, why would he retire, unretire, fuck up his personal life, come back and play just one more season to retire again? Makes no sense. He's going to play. In Tampa, I don't think so. We'll see where. I've talked about that. I think it's going to be out in Sin City. I do. Who knows, though? But as he even said, if I fucking knew what I was going to do, I'd fucking tell you. Deep ball, Devontae Smith goes up for it, incomplete. So 3rd and 6, but show replay. And just simple go route. Maybe a little bit of push off, but then still good coverage and incomplete.
Same thing on the other side. Diamador Lenore up against A.J. Brown, the big free agent addition this year. And Devontae Smith tries to go up and high point it,
but yeah, so on Fox to CBS and then ESPN for the Pro Bowl, Fox for the Super Bowl. That's the NFL season. 3-2-1, they geared it off, but Hurts pump fakes, then gets rid of it. It's almost picked off, incomplete. Now there's a flag on the play, too. Maybe a defensive hold. Yeah. And then with the pass intended for A.J. Brown, and then almost picked it off, incomplete. It'd be a spot foul, so it's still first down, but it's not yardage-wise a big chunk penalty. It's only about a 5-yard penalty. And they said pass interference, but it was more of a defensive hold anyway. But, you still got the first down, but you didn't give it 15 yards. And then Kyle Shanahan livid, no fucking way, that was a penalty. Yeah, so these refs, it's penalty here, penalty there, and first down Philly from the 42. Jalen Hurts rolls out near side, looking far side, but comes back and throws it out of bounds, incomplete. Yeah, I don't know if they were going to go double pass or a screen over there or something like that, but they wanted a convoy down the far sideline. And
so you see here, there's A.J. Brown, Jimmy Ward kind of comes through.
That was pregame, yeah, pushing and shoving. And then, of course, he held him, and they called the penalty. And
We'll keep an eye. Anytime they put A.J. Brown in the slot, he's going to have number 1, Jimmy Ward.
yeah.
Right now, Brown is at the bottom of your screen against Travarius Ward.
Under 5 to play in the half, 7-7. Hurts looking to throw all day. Should have been sacked. Pump fakes. And then another flag comes in. He goes down the sack. Be 3rd and 13. So do you want a 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 13? Do you want to give up the down? Or Lou use the hands to the face on the defense rather than a hold. So that's an automatic first down. Never mind. I was going to say, do you want to give up the down or... That could have gone either way. Or the yardage. Decline it then in 3rd and 13. Rather than take it in 2nd and 20, but then it's legal hands to the face and, okay, 1st and 10 from the 47. And another whistle, another fucking flag. Jesus Christ. And a false start. Maybe a little bit of a makeup call to back them up. Good God, refs. If it's a penalty, call it. If it's not, don't let them play. Don't try to control this damn game like you guys always try to do. Good God.
Isaac Seumalo. Time ticking down in this first half. And a 7-7 game. McCaffrey's touchdown tied it. Ever since that opening drive, every yard has been tough for Philadelphia against his number one D.
First and 15. Hurts complete. Goddard. Maybe the penalty yardage back. So 2nd and 10, under 4 to play in the half. This is a big defensive drive now. You think about it. Time's ticking away. Big defensive drive for the 49ers. Keep them off the board. Keep yourself tied at 7. Once you get the ball back, forcing a punt or 10-7. Or if they miss a field goal or don't score, just whatever. Get the ball back. Keep it tied at 7. And then you score or try to, and then get the ball back to begin the second half. Ball's in your court. Philly's got to do something. I mean, as you do too, but Gainwell on the catch and run to the 45. Be 3rd and short, though, about 3rd and 3. Let's see what they draw up here. This is a big play coming up. This is.
And Fred Warner were walked up in those A gaps. We saw earlier in the game, Dre Greenlaw come unblocked up the middle. That time, they all bailed out to a deep zone. They find themselves again, most likely
From the 45, 3rd and 2, they say. 3rd and 2. Trips near side out of the gun. Hurts, hand off. And Gainwell for first down. Got to snap it once more before the 2-minute warning. And if I'm San Fran, I'm in no hurry to stop the clock. Let them do what they want. Just stop them. Maybe you try to stop the clock, depending on what happens on this play and first play after the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. And Hurts, hands off. Gainwell again. Kenny G. And to the 25-yard line he goes and out of bounds. So the clock will stop for a second. Wind to the 2-minute warning now. And it'll be 1st and 10. Eagles from the 25-yard line with 2 minutes to play. Tied at 7.
what this offense does to these defenders. It makes 4-4, 4-5 linebackers play 4-7.
Pickup takes us to the 2-minute warning. 7-7 game. Eagles on the move.
We'll see if Philly can see if the shoe fits for a touchdown. Retake the lead going into halftime. Well, that's a field goal. It's a touchdown. 10-7, 14-7. San Fran still has 3 timeouts if they would get the ball back. I highly doubt it, but if they do, might be with, minute and a half or so, the max. Depends on what Philly does, see how much time they take up. Because they might score quick, they might take up the whole 2 minutes. And the San Fran doesn't even get the ball back. Or it might be 10 seconds and they take a knee. This had San Fran, try to keep it tied at 7, try to, only be down 10-7. You can't give them a touchdown here. You got to force field goal if you can. You will get the ball back to begin the second half, though. That's the good thing going for them right now. Other than that, man, just, frustration, for sure, I would think. But then also, hey, we're not out of this. We're fighting back. We don't care who's playing. We're going to go out and play. And now their defense, unfortunately, is going to another big drive and maybe another big touchdown to, put them back in a hole, down another 7 points, as they were down 7-0. And then, sat like that for a little while, and then 7-7, might be 14-7. That's what I'm saying, San Fran, you got to force a field goal. You got to force a kick. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Commercial break in the meantime, so We'll get back to the action shortly, just as always. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share. Chat questions, comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always get appreciated as well. And at halftime here, we'll first half stats and scores. So. First and 10, Eagles from the 24-yard line. We're tied at 7-2, missed a point in the first half. NFC Championship game winner to go to the Super Bowl. Take on either the Bengals or the Chiefs. Handoff, Sanders for about a yard. Gainwell has been running the ball better than he has today, for sure, no doubt about it. I'd run the hot hand if I had the chance. But then if you have a two-headed backfield, though, too, two-headed monster, why the hell not do that? You know, make them stop both of you. That's Penn State on Ohio State. We are on the stiff arm. 2nd and 9 from the 23. And Hurts looking to throw. Pump fakes. Rolls out. And more penalties. Thrown. Incomplete, out of bounds. Caught by the long snapper. And it's going to be on the San Fran defense. Yeah, the penalties when they had good field at the 50, and then they went backwards, had to punt when they had to end up punting. They should have got points. They ended up scoring. You know, they could have a 10-7 lead right now, and then they can't force a field goal here, 10-10 then. That's a good penalty call, though. That's a hold for sure. Legal contact, but 1st and 10 for Philly.
You roll it beyond 5 yards with the quarterback in the pocket, so it becomes illegal contact.
So from the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. And Hurts will hand off. Miles Sanders far side. And another stiff arm until he gets out of bounds for about 5, 2nd down.
Was going to be able to circle the defense. Watch the inside-out pursuit. He avoids the block from Kelsey and then just outruns Lane Johnson. We saw Fred Warner do it earlier. These are two of the premier.
So 2nd and 5 from the 13. And Hurts will hand off again. Sanders, and he'll walk in. Touchdown, Eagles. Yep. Had the opening touchdown, has that touchdown, and 13-7. So San Fran will get the ball back, minute 36 and 3 timeouts to try to do something themselves. You got to at least get a field goal, I think. And then it goes back to that drive when they should have had points and they had to punt. You know, they could honestly be down 1 or have a lead at halftime and get the ball back to begin the second half if they would have scored down, but they didn't. So we're not going to go there, but I mean, you still got 3 timeouts, minute 36 here, down 6, make it 7 here. This extra point probably going to be up and good, which with the snap and the hold and the kick is good. So it is up and good, 14-7 Philly. So yeah, San Fran's going to get the ball back in buck 36 and 3 timeouts. You got to get a field goal. You at least got to get a field goal. If you can score a touchdown, tie it up again at 14, then it's a whole new ballgame because you get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. You kick a field goal again early 3rd quarter, score. I mean, it's a field goal game like I was saying earlier. It is. So 14-7 right now. Touchdown Eagles. Miles Sanders for 2nd time today, but we'll get into some stats here at halftime. We'll see how this plays out. If I'm San Fran, though, like I said, just keep it simple. Get field goal range, kick it. Should have had a field goal earlier, but they had to punt. If you can score a touchdown, so be it. Even better. But, yeah, you got to get something. 3-7, you got to get something. You can't go 3 and out give them the ball back and then have them score again right before half. Like, that ain't going to work. You're even a bigger hole down early third quarter, even though you are getting the ball back. You know, what's the point then? So, I mean, game's not over until it's over. They're just in a tough spot, you know. They're trying to keep it as simple as they possibly can for Josh Johnson. You know, basically running a fucking backyard football offense for 17 because, you know, they're down their first-string quarterback with Brock Purdy out injured. Seemingly not coming back, but who knows? He might, you know. He might walk out early third quarter. You know, he's in a quarterback for all we know. Might now. He's seemingly done, though, it feels like. But 14-7. San Fran getting the ball back. 3 timeouts. Buck 36. Got to get something before half. Field goal, touchdown. Got to get something. We'll see if they can or not, and then we'll hit halftime. Update some first half stats and scores. Preview what's to come as the winner of this will take on the winner of the game later on tonight in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. So leave it at that. Just as always, in the meantime, thanks for tuning in and listening. So Philly going to be on to kick off here, and San Fran back deep to receive, and Kyle Shanahan giving the refs an earful. And yeah, they had a lot of penalties on the drive I was talking about. They had to punt. They should have got a field goal there at least. They get a field goal now. If they had that field goal earlier or a touchdown, I mean, like I said, they're down 1 or have a lead gun at halftime. That was a big drive looking back on it. Penalties hurt them there. Penalties hurt them on that drive. Refs are throwing a flag on every fucking play, though. Both against the 49ers and Eagles, for that matter. I mean, you just got to play through it. You know, I understand, you know, try to prove a point, you know, say this, say that, but, you know, sometimes it's just going to fall on deaf ears. You know, they don't care. They're gonna call it as they see it. So, touchback on the kick, 1st and 10. San Fran from the 25-yard line, and you got 3 timeouts, a minute and a half, and you got to get some points before halftime. End of story, okay? Nothing stupid. You can't throw a pick 6 here, okay? You can't turn the ball over or go 3 and out, like I said. Give them the ball back, a couple timeouts themselves to be exact, and some time as well, you know, to score again before halftime. Like, you're either getting points or you're not, okay? And it's 14-7 or 14-10, 14-14 at halftime. Josh Johnson looking to throw, slant complete, and Deebo Samuel for 12 yards. Thought he was going to break that and be off to the races, but got caught up and brought down, and give him 11 officially, 1st and 10, San Fran, the 36-yard line. They go, hurry up. They still got 3 timeouts here. Fumbled the snap, and now got a pile, and what I say, you can't be turning the fucking football over. This is big. This is maybe the biggest play of the fucking game. And the Eagles have it. Oh my God, San Francisco. What the fuck are you doing? And now the Eagles, after the 49ers, you get a first down, run another play, fumbled snap. Even take up like 20 seconds for one. Eagles 1st and 10, 2 timeouts with a buck 11, and the best starting field position they could ask for. And if they don't score, whether that's a field goal, let alone a touchdown, there's something seriously wrong. Should be 17, make it 21-7 now at halftime. San Fran's still going to get the ball back to begin the second half, but if, you know, unless they, you know, give up nothing here, of course, they're still going to be down, but be down even more than wish they would be down. And like I said, right as Brock Purdy went down, and then comes Josh Johnson, yeah, this game's probably fucking over. Philly, up until, you know, just a second ago, though, too, hadn't done anything since the opening drive, because when San Fran tied it up, they scored again. But, yeah, they get the ball back off the turnover, so turnovers are killer, man. Turnovers and penalties is the name of the game today for the 49ers, along with injuries. That's why they're down, and that's probably why they're going to lose and probably not get back to the Super Bowl. 2nd and 5 from the 25. Bubble screen complete. Dallas Goedert to the 20. So right there at the marker should be enough for a first down. Clock will stop for a second. You know, now it winds. All right. So got 2 timeouts. Under 45 seconds to play, though. First and 10 from the 20. Trips in a bunch top of your screen. They'll run it near side, and Boston Scott gets out of bounds. There's a late flag as well, maybe a face mask or a hold of some sorts. Yeah. Injuries, penalties, and turnovers is why San Fran's losing. Yeah, that's a clear penalty. Right in front of the fucking ref, too? Yeah, you can't do that.
Right in front of the official.
And especially right in front of the head coach, who's right in front of the ref, and yeah, pointing it out. That'll be a meme. But yeah, 15 yards, automatic first down. Yeah, it's going to be half the distance, actually. So, be first and 10, Eagles from the 10-yard line. 2 timeouts still, and 21 seconds.
21 seconds to go, 2 timeouts. So they can do whatever they want here.
I'd run it first. I mean, you could take a shot, maybe throw a fade, which I hate, but I'd run it. Mama on the audible. 5 seconds on the play clock. They'll run it up the middle. Boston Scott, and hey, Miles Sanders has 2. He wants 1, and he gets it. Touchdown Eagles, just like that. Don't even have the ball a minute after they get the turnover. And they drive and score. Short field, yes, but they still score. 20-7. Extra point to come. We're 16 seconds away from halftime. 49ers will get the ball back to begin the second half, but if they don't do anything then, this game's over. For sure. Like, 99.9% over. They're going to go. Why the fuck are you going to go for 2? No, kick it. You don't get it. I mean, yeah, you're still up 20-7, but then what if they come back and then that 1 point is the fucking difference? He's going to call a timeout. He's pissed off. Kick the fucking extra point. Don't be going for 2 here.
If they jump, now you can go for 2 because the ball would be on the 1-yard line. And then you always can use your timeout. But now they have to line up for an extra point.
Yeah.
Because you can't use back-to-back timeouts. So their plan of using their
Well, they should have just fucking kicked the extra point to begin with and not lined up to go for 2 and then decided not to. And he called timeout, spits his gum out because he's pissed off. But yeah, they had 12 on the field.
Eagles have 3 rushing touchdowns, so the angle, Scott clearly snuck in there inside the pylon. 2 scores.
Most rushing touchdowns in a single season all time, including in the postseason. Eagles have 38 today with 3 today. I got to rewind this real quick before they kick the extra point. Pause it real quick. There's a team on there with the Packers back in 1962 at 37. Is that Georgia Tech? The Yellow Jackets back in 1924 also had 38? I didn't know they played the fucking National Football League. Or is that just a basic, old school, team? Who are the Yellow Jackets? It's been a long time. Almost 100 years, 99 to be exact. Extra points up and good in the meantime, 21-7. We'll fast forward and get back to live TV here in a second. We're about 30 seconds behind after that. We're going to put down whatever Chef Gordon Ramsay told us to put down because they go to a split screen break. But we're back to it live. And yeah, I'm going to do some research on the Yellow Jackets for 38 rushing touchdowns in a single season. Eagles, one more today breaks the record. They score in the Super Bowl if they get there, which they will. They're going to win this game. This game's fucking over. I don't even know if I want to fucking watch the second half. Let alone stream it for that matter. I might just, hey, see what happens early third quarter, and then that's it, and I'll see everybody for the SC game later. This game's fucking over. San Fran can't stop the run. They're down their 4th-string quarterback. Turnovers, along with the injuries, but turnovers and penalties for them have been killers. And that's why they're losing. They had it when it was 7-7. Ayuk gets a good McLeod gets a good return, to the 40. Still got 10 seconds and 3 timeouts. Hell, they could get in field goal range. They could take a shot. Why not? You can still get a field goal here. Maybe score, early third quarter, whether it be a field goal, touchdown. It's a one-score game at 21-13, 21-17, and voila, you're right back in it. But then you got to get a stop or two on defense, and then you got to get this game in the fourth quarter. So the only way San Fran's winning this game is they can get this game deep in the fourth quarter and come back. Johnson looking to throw. Rolls out, incomplete. 5 seconds, and now you got to heave it. You got to Hail Mary. Play hook and ladder here. Wasn't there a game last Sunday, too, that we had a Hail Mary right before halftime? Or a game sometime in this playoff run? We had a Hail Mary right before halftime. I think so. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. He's wide open over the middle right there. Gets out of bounds. Gets, some yardage. But 2nd and 10 now. Johnson looking to throw. Quick bubble screen. Debo gets a first down. Time expires, though. So that's the first half. Should have got out of bounds. Or should have got down and then called a timeout real quick. But 21-7 Eagles at halftime in the NFC Championship game. 49ers will get the ball back to begin the second half, but damage is done. And it started when Brock Purdy went down with a right hand, right elbow injury. Has not returned. That was with about 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Seems like forever ago. This first half. It's been a long first half, to say the least. But, yeah, time possession there. Phillies had the ball good 8 minutes more. On the dot. When was the last time we had, 19 to 11 or 20 to 10 minutes of time possession in that regard, just on the dot. Like, no seconds. It's probably been a while. But regardless of that, it all started when Purdy got hurt. San Fran was already down 7 because Philly went and drove and scored in their opening drive. But then Purdy goes down. They punted a couple times, as Philly did too. They missed out on some points on a drive. They, had a ton of penalties offensively on. Should have got some points, before halftime again. But then they turned it over. So, yeah, from injuries to penalties to turnovers, they did tie it up at 7. And then Philly was still in trouble. And then San Fran couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't capitalize. Philly got the ball back, scored. Got the ball back again after a turnover. Scored real quick within a minute. And then hold a 21-7 lead here at halftime. So the 49ers get the ball back to begin the second half, but this game is seemingly done with and over. Eagles are going to win. Just depends on what the final score is going to be. It seems like Brock Purdy's going to be done and out for the rest of the game. We'll get a report on him here, I would think, at halftime. As he was 2 of 2, 19 yards passing before he went down. They were running the ball well with McCaffrey there, and then they sort of got away from it. Which I get. You got to still throw, but, you had a hot thing going. Why try to do something else? So I'd expect them to probably run the ball, try to at least this second half as much as they possibly can to get themselves back in this game. But at the same point in time, man, you got to give credit to the Eagle defense. And 49er fans, for the rest of the time, they'll be saying, well, we would have won that game if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt. Who knows? It was fucking early in the game. It's not like it happened late and then it, changed the tide. Even though it did. But then it didn't because they came back and tied it up, and then their defense gave up, a couple more scores. The reason why it's 21-7, yes, with an injury, but even more than that, it's the penalties by the 49ers and the turnovers by the 49ers that have led to Eagles points, and the Philadelphia Eagles lead the San Francisco 49ers here at halftime in the NFC Championship game, 21-7. Josh Johnson is 5 of 9, 51 yards passing, has been sacked twice, has turned the ball over, I might add, as well. Brock Purdy, 2 of 2, 19 yards. McCaffrey has 7 carries, 55 yards rushing and a touchdown. Also 2 catches, 18 yards receiving. Debo, 3 catches, 33 yards. Kittle, 1 catch, 9 yards. Need to get him the ball more. Need to get these receivers the ball more, I might add as well, from Ayuk to Jennings and everybody else. Yeah, you got to get Debo the ball. You got to get McCaffrey the football too. But the reason why Philly's up, yes, it's because of the 49er injury quarterback to Brock Purdy. It's also because of the penalties. It's also because of the turnovers. But it's also because of the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Their defense has put it to them. Where talking about the 49er defense, how good they are, they've given up 21 points. So all anybody ever remembers, is whether you win or lost. It's not golf. It's not who has the lowest score wins. It's who has the most points. And it's 21-7 at halftime. Jalen Hurts, he's not playing that great, but he's 13 of 19, 97 yards passing. Miles Sanders had a pretty good first half, 10 carries, 39 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns for him. Gainwell, 3 of 21. And then Boston Scott has a carry for 10 yards and a touchdown, I might add, as well. As the Eagles now have 38 touchdowns this season on the ground rushing, which ties an NFL record from about 100 years ago, which we're going to have to look into with the Yellow Jackets, who also had 38. I doubt it's Georgia Tech, but you never know. So I'm going to do some research here real quick, and I'll fill you in on what I find here in a minute. The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, professional American football team, part of the National Football League. 1924, when they, of course, back in 1924, 100 years ago, back when football started, back in the late 1800s after the Civil War, to present day, it's run game, it's good defense, but that was their first year, and they only played for a couple years, even though their origin dates back to as early as 1899 with the Frankfurt Athletic Association, so the FFA. They won the NFL championship in 1926, which was also a good year, I might add. Team played its home games in Frankfurt Stadium, which was a northeastern part of Philly. So the Eagles, of all teams, tie a former city team in the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets with 38 touchdowns rushing, which is an NFL record. A section in the northeastern part of Philly noted for the subway elevated transit line that terminates there. Any notable players? Any Hall of Famers? Anybody, worthy? Yeah, played in Frankfurt, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Their head coaches, these are some names: Punk Berryman, Guy Chamberlain, Charlie Moran, the Swede Youngstrom, Charlie Rogers, Russ Daughtery, Ed Weir, and Bull Bayman. Theodore Holden was a GM, as was James Adams and Shep Rollum. Was he also part of the Three Stooges, or is that a different Shep? And I guess we got some good vibrations in Philly, even though it's cold and rainy. It's not California by any means, where Super Bowl was last year. Where the hell here are players that played or would have scored those touchdowns.
But now that you are in this building, moments from kickoff, how do you make sure you guys back it up?
Okay, so actually, this Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, they basically became the Philadelphia Eagles over time. Because they suspended ops and then unable to find a buyer, they returned the franchise to the league. So then it was in the NFL's hands to find a new team. They spent over a year searching for a new team in Philly. And then in 1933, the Eagles were founded. Of course, also 1933, the Steelers were founded. And during World War II, to form one team because of low numbers with players fighting in the war here in the state of Pennsylvania, in PA, the Steelers and Eagles, which I've known, and that's why I'm saying it, they became the Steagles for a short time. Of course, the Eagles beat the Steelers this season, as they beat a lot of other teams, I might add, as well. San Fran enters this game at 13-4. Philly at 14-3, but that's not counting the playoff wins. So technically, San Fran has two more, so they're 15-4. It's their 20th game. And Philly's 15-3 because they had a bye. So if they win the Super Bowl, they'd be overall 17-3. Because 16 would be today, of course. But yeah, there's the info on the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. Wasn't expecting to go back in time 100 years. Talk about rushing touchdowns, but it's also 21-7. So, yeah, notable players. Here we go. Jug Earp. I wonder if he was related to the Earp brothers. Related to Wyatt Earp by any means. Let's check. He's a cousin of Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp's father and Nicholas Earp, they were brothers, so they were cousins. That's pretty cool. Wasn't expected to find out that one of Wyatt Earp's cousins played football for the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets that had the NFL record for rushing touchdowns as a team in one single season back in 1924 with 38 that the Eagles just tied in this first half as they have 3 and up 21-7 at halftime. 2 Bits Homan, what a fucking name. He was also a player, as was Herb Josting, Herb Stein, Hust Stockton, George Sullivan, Charlie Pye Way, Ed Weir, Ray Richards, to name a few. And they won games. Look at this win loss record. 11-2-1, 13-7, 14-1-1. Had a down year after they won the title, but then 11-3-2, 10-4-5, another down year, and then they really started to suck, and then they sold the team back to the league, and then they became the Eagles a year later. So that's pretty cool. There's a history lesson for you. Yeah, 2 Hall of Famers. Guy Chamberlain, who actually played for them, but then also coached, and then Will Link Lyman, who was on the line. They both were early enshrinees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, in the early to mid-1960s. So there's that for you as we're about to kick off this second half. And 49ers back deep to receive. They're down 21-7. Really, we'll see how this opening drive goes. This game's over, though. I'd be surprised if they come back and win it. They got to keep it simple, though. They got to, continue to run the football. We'll see about Brock Purdy, but he's seemingly done. So, I mean, had a good run while it lasted. Sucks to see him get hurt in that regard. You know, it's not like you just flat out, suck today. Like, he did, finish 2 of 2, 19 yards. But, yeah, he left the game about 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. And even with that, their defense can't stop the run. They give up 3 rushing touchdowns. And what was Aaron Andrews got to say? Sounds like a no before halftime. Yeah, turnovers and penalties have been their killer. Purdy not in just yet. Josh Johnson in the game. But yeah, it's their defense. 1st and 10 from the 25. They'll toss at McCaffrey and run the damn ball. And he'll lose 3 yards, so 2nd and long. What's Sirianni have to say? Yeah, because they've sort of, gone after the 49ers for the most part. They really haven't have to do much. Honestly, they haven't. Like, they're just, hey, hit the bag and go. Yeah. Hit him. Kittle's wide fucking open and he's waving his hands and you don't throw him the football. Oh my God. Well, that's just Josh Johnson for you. He is wide open. I don't care if he's standing there at the line of scrimmage. He's wide open. He can catch it and run. Rather than incomplete pass, you got a 3rd and shorter than it is at 3rd and 13. Yeah, Purdy has to be just in a state that, man, just... There's nothing he can do, though. He can just stand there and watch. That's another delay game, but they give it to him. Josh Johnson's pass, caught. He does go to Kittle. Makes up for it and gets a 1st down. All right. The drive stays alive for the time being, but... Like I said, they can make this interesting still. They can. But... They don't necessarily have to be quick about it just yet, but they're going to have to be quick about it later. They just got to get this game to the 4th quarter. And, yeah, it's the penalties, it's the turnovers, it's their defense making stops. Because it's still a next man up mentality. Josh Johnson hasn't played bad, but that's another delay game. They jumped off sides. There's no penalties just yet. Now they blow it dead. Then it's caught by Jennings, but doesn't count. Doesn't matter. Yep. Just pathetic. Like, just a simple basic shit. Like, they're shooting themselves in the foot. And he can't hear. They're going to have to go to fucking signals. He can't hear the fucking play call get called in. Well, give him somebody else's fucking helmet or at least turn the fucking volume up for him. Jesus Christ. 1st and 15. Ball 39-yard line. Yeah, they'll run a draw. That's a false start. Nope. All right. They'll get the ball to McCaffrey on a screen, but he'll get about a yard if he's lucky. Has 23 tackles, 23 on this late January 2023 Sunday afternoon in the NFC Championship game. 21-7. We'll stick around for the rest of the game. Now, if they get a pick 6 on the next play, then I'll probably call it quits. But a couple minutes in, 2nd and 14. Under center. 5-step drop, gets hit, and then it's, almost picked off, incomplete. Wouldn't have been returned, but 3rd down. And now he's slow to get up. All right, so who's their emergency quarterback? Who's their 5th-string quarterback? They're going to fucking run Wildcat with McCaffrey and probably Debo the rest of the way. Yeah, they're getting after the right elbows. They're causing pressure. They might have to ask Philadelphia, hey, can we borrow Gardner Minshew for the rest of the game? And now Josh Johnson's hurt. Who is? McCaffrey. Head hits the ground late, yeah, a little bit, but it's more the elbow, it looks like. And people will say, well, the Eagles are out to get him. Is Greg Williams their defense coordinator and you know, hiding somewhere? Brock Purdy starting to horn back up. They might have to throw his ass back in. McCaffrey, the emergency quarterback. And he's going to switch his helmet. Actually, here comes Brock Purdy. Purdy's back in the game. 3rd and 14, though. Not a good situation. 12:30 to play in the third. Let's see if he can throw it. If he can, you know, throw it and, you know, they get a first down here and do something, then, all right, like I said, it's going to get interesting. 3rd and 14, and they'll run a draw. McCaffrey, well, all right, gets about 5 yards, so they're not going to risk him throwing. So he came in to hand off. 4th down, they'll punt to begin the third quarter. Now they got, yeah, a situation. Who's playing quarterback? Brock Purdy, who's already been hurt today. Josh Johnson, who just got hurt. Brock Purdy had to come back in, or is it going to be Chris McCaffrey, let alone Debo Samuel? Take a look at the roster. It's really just McCaffrey and Debo to play quarterback. Because, well, I mean, Trey Lance is there, but he's in street clothes because he's been hurt. It's not like they're going to throw his ass back in there, you know, after he, you know, had a lower body injury earlier in the season that cost him the whole entire year. Jimmy G's hurt as well. Yeah, it's really just McCaffrey and Debo, which then, you know, at running back, which, yeah, you're just going to be running the ball or in Wildcat, you know, for the most part. McCaffrey probably wouldn't throw. You'll probably run some end arounds. You might throw some short screens. But then, you know, they're one-dimensional at that point. And Philly is in a good spot with a lead and then making all these stops on defense as it is. And then, you know, they'll just continue to make stops. I could see maybe Ray McLeod. You know, they have him at returner. But then, you know, if it's McCaffrey or Debo, then, you know, you go from running back to receiver, and then it's next man up behind them. And, you know, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Jawan Jennings. Both have had quiet games. You know, like I said, Elijah Mitchell's out today. They had to bring up Tevin Coleman. They really don't have anybody else. They don't. I mean, hit by the injury bug. But then even this late in the season, I mean, truly, who are you going to have, whether it's now or first game of the season for that matter, or anywhere in between? Like, yeah, it's situationally, you know, an emergency. I mean, fuck, Kyle Shanahan might get in there and play quarterback. He's probably wondering where the hell Matt Ryan's at in his MVP season. The year before the Eagles went and won Super Bowl 52. And before Matt Ryan and the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Still the only Super Bowl, and that was the first Super Bowl to ever go to overtime. And we still have yet to have a playoff game this playoff season go to overtime with the new overtime format that both teams would get a possession. Yeah, they're going to be down to. As Josh Johnson will now go into the locker room. Brock's going to have to play. We'll see if they throw it with him, unless he just continues to hand off. And then it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. I mean, good thing they traded for him, you know. But then it'll be Debo. And then other than that, like I said, I'd have to think it'd be one of the other receivers. Maybe they have a corner. But second and 7 from the 20, yeah, there is a lot. Slant over the middle, incomplete. And third down, so 11:01 to play in the third here. Still 21-7. Game's not over by any means just yet, even though it is. No, I think you got to get Debo at emergency quarterback if it's not McCaffrey. Not Kyle Juszczyk, but they're going to have Kyle Juszczyk looking at plays. Good God. 3, 2, 1, they get it off. Hurts going deep. A.J. Brown incomplete. Fourth down, and all right, here we go. Who's going to be a quarterback for the 49ers? Eagles going to punt, and it's either going to be Brock Purdy. Josh Johnson's hurt for the time being. Might come back for all we know. But Brock Purdy was hurt, didn't come back until he had to. He's warming up. You know, it would be a decoy if he's not going to throw. They'll run the ball, but then the Eagles know they're going to run. They'll just run and stop him. You know, so he's going to have to throw, but then if it's not them, you know, because we're down to Purdy because they lost Trey Lance and Jimmy G. Purdy's in, they lost him, down to Josh Johnson. Lost him, back to Brock Purdy. But Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk are next to the line. Brock Purdy's going to be in at quarterback. As we go to break, 10:47 to play in the third. But how much are they going to allow him to throw is the question. We'll see. But 21-7 here, early third quarter. Some stats again here. Josh Johnson now injured. 7-13 passing, 74 yards. Purdy still 2 of 2, 19 yards. McCaffrey now 9 carries, 56 yards rushing, the touchdown. Debo still 3 catch, 33 yards. Kittle had a big 22-yard catch there to get a first down before they had to punt, but 2 catch, 31 yards for him. McCaffrey has 3 catches, 19 yards, and Brandon Ayuk catch for 10 yards. San Fran, even with Brock Purdy to Josh Johnson, back to Brock Purdy, or whoever the hell is going to play quarterback, they haven't gone deep. They haven't. We'll see if they do or not. But they're going to try to continue to run the football. They're still in it. They gotta get some points. That's what going back to that last drive, or the next to last drive actually before halftime, because they did get the ball back again because Philly then scored. They turned the ball over there. They don't turn the ball over or, you know, not get anything themselves. You know, it's 14-7 or 14-10, 14-14. Touchdown 21-7. But then even go back to the drive where they, you know, should have kicked the field goal and had a bunch of penalties. Could have had some points then. They're just shooting themselves in the foot from the injuries to the turnovers to the penalties. It's 21-7. It's a hell of a lot closer than it is on the scoreboard, though. It is. Jalen Hurts, 13-21, 97 yards. Sanders, 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boston Scott has the other. Devontae Smith has the catch for 29 yards on the opening drive. That's it. A.J. Brown, 428. Dallas Goedert has 5 catches, 23 yards. Brock Purdy's in at quarterback. Is he going to throw is the question. Neither team's been good on third down today. Philly's converted twice on fourth down, though, and they've controlled the clock by a good 5 minutes. 10 total penalties and 7 of them to the 49ers. Other than that, everything was pretty split, pretty even. Brock Purdy back in the ballgame, quarterback, because they need him to. Under center. And that's an offside. They'll run an end around Debo. They'll let it slide, though, on the penalty. And he'll spin, make a few moves, but continues to go backwards and gets 2nd and 14 coming up. Yeah, Kittle's like, hey, just play through it. Like, just fucking forget about it. Just continue to play. Like, if you can throw, throw. And get me the football. You know, get anybody that's open the football. Let's go win this, you know. 2nd and 14. McCaffrey and Hughes checking the backfield. Kittle in motion near side. And they'll run it again up the middle, McCaffrey. Yeah. Down the middle. Exactly. But now I've got a 3rd and 12. Some more pushing and shoving. Hey, you want to go? Let's go. We don't have to wait until after the game. We don't have to wait. Go out to the parking lot. Let's fight now. Exactly. That's what I thought. You know, they back off because the ref breaks it up. But 3rd and 13. From the 42. He has to throw here, right? He will. And he dumps it off on a screen to McCaffrey. But 4th down, and they'll punt again. They barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So their defense needs to stop. Their defense needs a turnover. They need a special teams mistake or a big special teams play. Yeah. They're one-dimensional. They're done for. This game's over. It's a hell of a lot closer than it is at 21-7, but they got to have something up their sleeves, I would think, to, you know, try to catch them off guard. But, I mean, you know, no doubt about it, not going to run a fucking fake punt on 4th and 10. 4th and shorter than that, yeah, maybe. But their defense needs to stop. If their defense can get a stop, good field. It goes back to the points they should have had earlier. But, you know, from penalties to turnovers, they don't. So, Philly's sort of in a good spot, but a lucky spot, I think. Because, I mean, yeah, San Fran can't stop the run, but... And Eagles, yeah, 2 long touchdown drives, but San Fran's, I think, shot themselves in the foot more than, you know, Philly's done, you know, anything good, even though they've done more good than the 49ers have, if that makes sense. It's from the injuries to the penalties and the turnovers is why San Fran's losing. They should have at least another 3, maybe 6 points on the scoreboard. And then it's a 1-score game. But they don't. So we're not even going to go there. It's 21-7. I still think, like I said at the start, whoever's winning the NFC is winning the Super Bowl. We'll see how late game kickoff in about an hour and a half or so, you know, plays out with Bengals and Chiefs. And be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube for that. But this game's been over, honestly, since Brock Purdy went down. He's come back now. They run a screen on the only pass he's thrown for 2 yards. McCaffrey does the rest. They're one-dimensional. It's a run game. It's, you know, dump off on screens. It's, you know, backup to the backup quarterback, and then another backup with an emergency, you know, in quotes, on his title. Like, yeah, it's very frustrating if you're a 49er fan, which I'm not. You gotta feel for him though, because I mean, you get this far and then all of this shit happens. Like anything and everything that, you know, has or could go wrong has gone wrong for him. You know, and at this point in time in the season, you can't have this happen. You just can't. But had some fighter wing on the flyover earlier. But 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. 21-7, 8.5 to play in the third. Handoff for a yard to Sanders. So if Philly can just run the ball and work some clock, this game's over. But this game's, you know, been over for a long time. It's just, you know, okay, there's still a chance. Like, they can make it interesting if do this, do that, which they were close, but then no cigars. So 2nd and 9 from the 10. And Jalen Hurts rolls out. And 5 yards. 3rd and 4 coming up. She runs out of bounds. Drain that play clock. Don't snap it until 1 second. Yeah, it stacks up on paper with the stats, with how everything's gone this season. Best versus best. Thank you, Greg Olson. Good God. But, you know, you see then what happens when, you know, one team's doing the punching, the other team gets punched in the mouth, and, you know, that's all she wrote. So, 1st down. We'll move the ball to the 24-yard line, under 7 to play in this 3rd quarter. If they score anything here, field goal, especially touchdown, games for sure are over. So, 24-28-7. If I'm Philly, too, I'm keeping it simple. I'm not running no trick plays. I don't want to give away anything that I'd want to run in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Just keep running it. And, you know, as I thought it'd be a Super Bowl rematch with the 49ers and Chiefs, I'm still going to pick the Chiefs later. Like I said, though, I mean, you get Eagles-Bengals, that'd be the least, you know, of the possibilities that I'd like to see, even though it'd be a good game. Just on paper, just doesn't seem right. But if it wasn't going to be 49ers Chiefs, I'd take Eagles Chiefs. But like I said too, like I think whoever's winning the NFC here is winning the Super Bowl. So yeah, still probably giving the Eagles to win the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. As a Steeler fan, I might add. So here we go, and fly Eagles fly. And then this would be their 2nd Super Bowl win in 5 years, 6 years. 5 years, I believe. Yeah, it was 17 seasons. So February of 18, February 20th. Yeah, 2nd in 5 years. Which that, you know, is good. You know, it's not back to back, or, you know, 2 and 3 years, or 3 and 4 years, or, you know, 4 and 5 or 4 and 6 years for that matter, by any means. But I mean, a Super Bowl win's a fucking Super Bowl win. You know, they lost a few early in their franchise history. Lost the Raiders, lost the Patriots. Probably should have beat New England in 39. I think Pittsburgh would have won the Super Bowl that year if they would have made it, though. They did win in 40 the year later. And then, you know, they won in 52 and going to go to 57 here. But, you know, if the Chiefs win, as the Eagles win here, it'll be the Andy Reid Bowl. It'll be the Kelsey Bowl with both Jason and Travis Kelsey. So their storylines there. I mean, it's worked out for Philly from firing Andy Reid, who got him to a lot of NFC Championship games and then the Super Bowl, but then didn't win. And then he goes to Kansas City. He's been there a decade. You know, all right. Been to a lot of AFC Championship games now. Been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. On the cusp of going to another. But they fired him, brought in Chip Kelly. That didn't work out. Brought in Doug Peterson, a disciple of his. Won a Super Bowl. They fired his ass. And now I got Nick Sirianni, and, you know, they're a quarter and a half away from going back to Super Bowl. So, like I said last week or week before, sometimes this playoff starts. You know, yeah, 2 Super Bowl appearances, maybe 2 Super Bowl wins in 5 years. And then, you know, over the past 20 years to get to the Super Bowl 3 different times with 3 different head coaches. Like, tell me what other NFL franchise has done that in that time frame. Because I don't think there is one. Like, that's, you know, something to be proud of, too. Whether you know, go out there, won or lost, wins better. Yeah, no doubt about it. Hurts going to get deep. This might be the dagger. Quez Watkins incomplete. 4th down, no punt. 4-4 to play in this third quarter. There's been a lot of errors for the 49ers today, to say the least. You know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know, for San Fran. You know, it's going to be better luck next time. They still got a chance, but it's very slim. They got to score on this drive if they want to, you know, have a chance in the fourth quarter. Both teams still have 3 timeouts left here, 4 minutes and counting to play in third. Oh, they blocked it. But he got it away in the meantime. And then in the meantime, on top of that, they ran into him, roughed the punter. So the flag on the play, running is only a 5-yard penalty. Roughing's a 15-yard penalty. Personal foul, and it's going to be an automatic first down. Eagles keep the ball 1st and 10. I mean, there's nothing he can do, though. You know, they went to block it a fingertip away. And then he just, you know, is right there and runs into him. And Eagles maintain possession 1st and 10 and new set of downs. So, yeah, there's nothing really he can do there. Yeah, they are, and he can be pissed all he wants. But the turnovers are killers, too. Their defense can't stop the run and, you know, injuries and, yeah, just. This has been Philly's game from the start. It has. And going back to my previous point there about, you know, Philly, you know, over the past 20 years or so, getting the Super Bowl seemingly with, you know, 3 different head coaches in that time frame. I know there's been a few teams that have had 2 head coaches, you know, do it. But 3? Like, the Raiders and the Steelers come to mind from, you know, John Madden to... shit, help me out. He's also now in the Hall of Fame as well. Tom Flores. That's right. And then, you know, from Cowher to Tomlin recently. I'm trying to think around the league, too, some other head coaches, you know, or just franchises that have had a couple head coaches that, you know, from one to another, they've still gone back to the Super Bowl. Whether they've won or lost, and still, like, Philly, over 20 years, 3 of them? I mean, come on. Like, it didn't look like a good idea when they fired Andy Reid, because then what happened with Chip Kelly, who also then went to San Fran and coached the 49ers, and then he got into broadcasting and back in college at UCLA. But then, you know, okay, Peterson, and then they run him out of town, and they bring in Sirianni. Now he's in his 2nd year, and, you know, go to the Super Bowl. And they're both teams are built on the run. They are. And Hurts is a dual threat quarterback. As is, you know, Trey Lance, but then the system, you know, for Jimmy G and Brock Purdy, and then, you know, Josh Johnson's been everywhere, man. Put him in the remake of the Johnny Cash I've Been Everywhere music video. Literally, he's like the new Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he's played in literally the NFL for as long as he has, plus all these other football leagues. Big first down run, talk about Hurts on the keeper, and then a late hit out of bounds on the 49er defense. So half the distance, automatic first down, be 1st and goal Philly. And as we near the end of the 3rd quarter here, that's not. Oh, well, the security guy took the brunt of it late from behind, got knocked out. But yeah, that's a late hit. I mean, he sold it well, but it wasn't as bad as it looked in real time. First and goal, handoff Scott, Boston Scott, pushing the pile to the 1. This will be second and goal. But
Boston Scott with a touchdown run today. You know, for Hurts, he really saved the quarterback runs until this drive. It's kind of been activated on this drive now. 9 carries for 36.
yeah, they've gotten by. They've gotten by, long story short, and, you know, they've had it all work out for him. You know, they're going to sneak it on second goal from the yard line, which he's not going to go anywhere. Stuff him, no game, third and goal. So, of course, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could probably think this game, no doubt about it, would be 10 times better if Brock doesn't get hurt or San Francisco makes some stops on defense. But even at the same time, with it being closer than the scoreboard shows, this is, like I said, been Philly's game from the start. They've controlled it for the most part by, you know, doing what San Fran does best, because these teams are more similar than they are alike, or more similar than they are different. They're more alike. Quarterback sneak, Hurts in the end zone, touchdown. Yep. 28-7, 43 seconds to play in the third, and Eagles fans can feel it. You can book your trip to Arizona for the Super Bowl, because that's where you're going to be heading in a couple weeks. And I believe the Eagles played the Cardinals earlier this season, if I'm not mistaken, right? Their second Super Bowl appearance in 5 years, going to go for their second Super Bowl win in that time frame as well. Extra point, up and good. Yeah, this game's over. 28-7. Still got a full quarter to play, but this game's over. And we're about an hour away from kickoff in the AFC Championship game, but we'll stick around. We'll stay on until the end. What the hell not? This crowd's going to get hot. I mean, EAGLES, Eagles fly. They're on the road to victory and on their way back to their Super Bowl. Going to be the NFC champs, as they've arguably been the best team in the NFC and arguably the best team in the NFL all fucking season long for the most part. I mean, they were the last unbeaten before the last home on a Monday night against Washington. And then, of course, they lost a couple games, you know, late in the year. But then, you know, bounced back, and now 2-0 in the playoffs, going to get to 3-0. You know, it helps to, you know, be the best team in the regular season, get a first round bye, and, you know, rest up in the wild card round and not have to play an extra game like San Fran did. You know, they're not necessarily, you know, getting beat in that regard. They're not dog tired by any means. They're banged up though. They are. I mean, everybody is this time of year, but, you know, injury bug, especially in the game, just hasn't gone their way. Penalties and turnovers as well, and, you know, Phillies had not one but two, make it 3 and 4 rushing touchdowns in this very game. So, yeah, Philly's going to win it. We'll see what the final score ends up being. This is sort of a blowout. Hoping for a better game. And like I said, yeah, you could say that, yeah, this didn't happen or that didn't happen, blah, 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 that, yeah, it might have been closer. They'd still be pulling away right now, though, even if the scoreboard is closer than the score actually shows. And we should have a good game later, here in about an hour or so, with the Bengals and Chiefs, I might add, as well. So, keep it at that. I mean, there's not really much to be said. Eagles going to win. Eagles going to get back to the Super Bowl. And for the time being, I'm going to pick them to win. I said I thought whoever is going to win the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. Honestly, root for the Chiefs later. You know, like, yeah, give me an Eagle-Chiefs Super Bowl. Andy Reid Bowl, Kelsey Bowl, with the brothers. We'll see if Travis is actually going to play later on tonight. Had a back injury, I guess, this past week. You know, not a good time for that to happen by any means. But yeah, Ron Jaworski, Donovan McNabb, Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, and now Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts has 15 rushing touchdowns this season, including the postseason, which is the most all-time in the NFL by a quarterback. So just breaking records. Debo on the kick return to about the 26, and guess what? There's another flag on the play.
38 seconds ago in this half. I mean, think about this. 49ers had 6 penalties.
And here comes Brock Purdy at quarterback.
And it is really
Is he going to throw? Probably not. And if he does, it's going to be a dump off on a screen. During the return, got a hold 10 yards from the under run, or half the distance. 10 yards. Be first down. Honestly, what's the point of having Purdy in there? They're going to have a situation. I think they're going to have to bite the bullet on Trey Lance. If they think Purdy's the guy, Jimmy G ain't going to be there next year. He'll be in Vegas if Brady ain't. Now, if Brady is in Sin City, then Garoppolo will end up, elsewhere. Hand off McCaffrey. Yeah, they'll just run the ball here. I mean, he'll just be handing off, but I wouldn't even risk having him in at quarterback. I'd be pulling him. Just run your damn Wildcat. Let's try to stay healthy. I mean, these starters aren't going to want to come out, but I'd probably be taking them out too. Like, same point in time, it's the last fucking game of the season. If you get hurt, you got all off season to recover. But you don't want to have anything stupid happen. Hell, they don't even have to snap it. 2nd and 1, 5 seconds on the clock. They will, though, it looks like, yeah. Handoff out of the eye. McCaffrey first down for the Niners, and that does it for the third quarter. But damage is already done. The Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are going to get back to the Super Bowl. And it's 28-7 right now. We'll see what the final score is. But we got 15 minutes to play, and 49ers got a first down. And, no dreams are coming true for the San Fran family, for that matter, going to break. But like I said, yeah, Eagles fans, book your trips because you're heading to the desert. As I said, yeah, root for Kansas City later. Honestly, give me Eagles Chiefs. I don't want to see Eagles Bengals. I don't. It'd be like just especially the Steeler fan, you got Philly to the east, Cincy to the west, and Pittsburgh's right there in the middle. Like, on paper, it's just not that good of a game. It might turn out to be that good of a game, but, I don't think there'd be a lot of buzz. Even with it being the Super Bowl, yeah, good teams, it should be a good game, but, yeah, root for the Chiefs. Give me Eagles Chiefs. I mean, I thought it'd be 49ers Chiefs in a rematch. But then, like I said, right next below it would be Eagles Chiefs. And I said, too, whoever's winning the NFC is winning the Super Bowl. But then Andy Reid's going to be out, for his former franchise that he used to work for, and they fired his ass. And then he went to Kansas City, and, he's gotten to the same amount of conference title games as he did in Philly. Gotten to one more Super Bowl than he did in Philly as well, and he's won one more than he did, too. So, yeah, Eagles are going to win. They'll wait either Cincinnati or Kansas City. And as that game will kick off in about an hour or so. Be on for that, too. So, tune back in. But 28-7 here at the end of the third. Eagles going to win. Final score is, but Eagles, Bengals doesn't sound as good as Eagles Chiefs. So root for the Chiefs later. Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Courtesy Ford's goal is the best customer service. Shop 24/7 at courtesyaltoona.net.
And then, of course, I'm sure there's a, reference to the past. As they're halfway there, more than halfway there. Yep. With the Chiefs to the Eagles, land of liberty, and might as well go out to the desert. Yeah, why not? Out of the eye, McCaffrey again. Flag, probably coming back for a hold. He bounces it, gets out of bounds for a couple yards, but probably coming back. Probably first and 20 rather than second and 7.
Assuming if Purdy could throw the ball. I mean, they obviously have to throw the ball right now, and I'm guessing he can't do it.
Yeah, you have to imagine finding yourself down 28-7 to just continue to line up under center, and just continue to hand the ball off, as we've seen since he's re-entered. Kind of tells you all you need to know, and it's just such a shame. It's a shame for Purdy.
Offside on the Eagles, actually. 5 yards. They take the penalty. First down. First and 5 rather than second 7. Yeah, you take the down for sure.
It's hard for Brock Purdy. It's hard and frustrating for
Yeah, it has to be tough.
Shanahan, and this entire 40
You get this far, then this happens. Like, what the hell happened? You
All
know?
you ask is you just want a fair shot. You want to go out onto the field and allow the game to decide who the best team is. And
So from the 33, first and 5.
Philadelphia's done. They played fantastic. Just hard to play when you don't have a functioning quarterback.
And they'll run an end around. Debo near side. Good block by Juszczyk, but then he gets put on his ass, and then only gets about a yard. Yeah, Philly's defense. Defense wins championships, man. Run game and defense. Run game travels.
You know, now, I don't want to belabor the point, but it needs to be said. When you don't have any threat of a passing game, just the sheer fact that they know you're probably not going to drop back and attempt to do it.
Yeah, they're just going to crowd the box. And then maybe you get lucky and get one-on-one and go deep, but if you're not throwing, then, well, you're screwed. Third and 4, or make it second and 4, excuse me, second and 4. Because they took the penalty on the outside. Hand off McCaffrey, first down run. All right.
And pick up a first down. Now, you're talking about this Eagles defense under the direction of Jonathan Gannon, who in his second year on this Nick Sirianni staff, I mean, second overall total defense this year. They've been terrific. And again, obviously, with the things going on at quarterback, doesn't take away how long they played. They've allowed 155 total yards today.
Yeah, absolutely. The play callers, the coordinators in this game, we've spent a lot of time talking about the star players. I'll tell you what, all 4 play callers in this game are head coach type coordinators.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Fake the end around again, and then they hand off to Kittle. I don't think anybody expected George Kittle to get a carry for about 5 yards today, but he does. And second down coming up.
Joseph Alvarado and some of the tickets to the Super Bowl. Joseph, retired youth volunteer football coach, 30 years of service in Northeast Philadelphia, Liberty Bell Youth Organization, also worked in various homeless shelters throughout the city. So well done by the commissioner.
Second down and officially 6, they say, from the 42.
Second and 6, San Francisco.
Will he throw? Or are they just going to continue to run it? Samuel on our end around far side. Spins and gets a yard. They're one-dimensional because of the injuries. He can't throw.
At some point, your only option is just to continue to.
Can you run a halfback pass? Run your wildcat that you wanted to do, and then you put him back in.
On the opening drive that Purdy returned to the game in the third quarter. So
Maybe, like I said, for Philly, no, you don't want to, do anything trickery now. You wait. You don't want to give anything away. San Fran, you got nothing to lose. They'll hand off McCaffrey again, 3rd and 5, but it'll be 4th and about 2.5, 3. They'll go for it here. Yeah, fuck, they're down 28-7, 11.5 to play, for God's sakes. This 4th quarter might be real quick, if you think about it. If Philly can work some clock.
3 scores in the fourth quarter. It's just a matter of how creative.
See if we get that half-hour window off in between the NFC Championship game like we did last week. 4th and 2, they'll go for it. And a toss. Debo, nowhere to go. They bring him down the backfield, turn it run downs. And Eagles can smell it even more now. Yep. They're going to be celebrating. The 49ers need fucking Vince Papale to, come over to the other side and have them do something good for them because, man, yeah. I don't know if these two teams are going to play next year by any means. But, that'd be a good game if healthy. Like they just today it wasn't working for them. Every dog has his day. What can you do? Philly's a good team. They are, and they've been like this all year. And good teams find ways to win. And it's also a good thing that you never trailed. You got out to a 7-0 lead. They did tie it at 7, but then you've scored 21 unanswered. And you lead 28-7, and yeah. What the fuck?
This February,
Good God.
is taking over the big game. Order Ultra now.
All right. See, that's Tony Romo in the booth, I might add. But we'll see him shortly. Unfortunately. But yeah. It actually was a good impression. But as they're doing a Super Bowl commercial for Caddyshack with Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra. Groundhog Days this week. We'll see if Punksy Phil sees the shadow or not, and if we're getting 6 more weeks of winter. But as they're shouting in Philly, yep. Why don't you go deep, hit the home run, just air it out. I mean, you got nothing to lose. But don't give anything away that you don't want to, have sincere Kansas City know. Because remember, they ran the Philly special a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. Of course, that was with Doug Peterson, who they ran out of town, brought in Nick Sirianni. Didn't think it was a good hire at first. I didn't. But it's worked out. And he's grown, and he has charisma. He does. Different, but he's cool. And now you don't want to see that, an injured offensive lineman up front. Late in the game when you're up a couple scores, when you're already going to win, why the fuck's he even playing? Well, you got to protect the quarterback though too, because if Hurts ain't playing in a couple weeks and Gardner Minshew is, well, you're probably fucking losing unless Minshew Mania runs wild. As the 49ers needed to start me up for this game like yesterday and the day before and every day leading up to this game this past week. So this has been the Eagles game from the start. He'll walk off. It's a right arm injury, but still.
Touchdowns or interceptions, but he got the legs going last drive. 39 yards rushing and a touchdown. Eagles with 4 rushing touchdowns.
So 2nd and 7 from the 40. And Hurts going to hand off. Kenny G, Kenneth Gainwell for a first down. Just run the ball and work the clock. Get this fucking game over with. from the 28, 1st and 10.
7 total yards for Gainwell here today.
And another handoff, but nowhere to go. 2nd and 10.
Eric Armstead has a beat on him. People wonder about the Eagles. You know, they won so many blowout games. You know, how would they do in a grinded out game against the number 1 defense in the league? And like every
Well, they blew them out too.
it's taken a lot of effort, but they've shown you that they can grind through it.
Yeah.
And no question, this is
It's their run game and it's their defense.
today. If they had a chance to win, this is probably the best
Yeah.
defense they're going to face not only all year, especially in the playoffs.
2nd and 10 from the 28. Handoff and a loss of a couple. 3rd down, 3rd and long.
They got 135 rush yards as a team. They're the 5th best rushing team in the league. But you said that they kind of did that. They usually pass to take the lead, try to run to close it out.
And it's just what makes them such a challenge, right? We came onto the broadcast talking about that they're willing and able to really win any style of game, and whether it turns into a high-scoring passing attack, spread you out, go 5 wide like they are here.
So 3rd and 12 from the 30. If they don't, convert, they'll probably kick it.
It's just there's so
I
much
mean,
to
some
do.
people, would say run up the score, being petty about it. But 2 yards, 4th down. I mean, there's nothing really to do. You got to kick it. Like, you're not going to go for it. Now some late flags. Maybe they get a 1st down out of it, though.
Look, I'm curious what they were calling here. You're going to see Dre Greenlaw, what made them
I think you might have offsetting fouls. There's one on Philly, one on San Fran. They might replay the down. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving today, a lot of chippiness. I mean, it's a chip game now, And they tried punching the ball out late. Be half the distance, automatic 1st down. So now they can sooner run the ball and run some more clock, and then that'll do it.
As kind of beef all day with some of the officiating, but we've shown you that Mike Pereira has agreed that these calls have been legit, but that's a 10 penalty.
So
It's not so much. I mean, we see teams all the time implement that peanut punch and try to attack the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. It was the
and it was after the play was over. They blew it dead. I mean, he just got punched on.
had ended, and that's we've seen it now. This defense has shouldered
So from the 14-yard line, 1st and 10.
out of their control, and sometimes the frustration mounts.
And handoff, Gainwell again. Loses a couple more yards, so 2nd down.
Second down. You think about Nick Sirianni, Greg, and we talked of his 2nd year and on the precipice of taking his team to the Super Bowl. He was so fired up, and then he got emotional.
Yeah, what other coaches have taken their team to the Super Bowl in their 2nd year?
Before all my games, Rocky Ford, he was going to show Rocky Ford to his kids yesterday, and he said, I just hit me like holy smokes from Mount Union, where he went to college, powerhouse D3 school in the year, and now he's 7 minutes away from taking the Eagles back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And another give up the middle and be 3rd and about 7.
It's so rare to find a situation where the coach's personality really kind of embodies the
6:40 and counting to play.
You mentioned it, that whole idea.
Damage is done. Game is over, but
His entire
see what the final score is here.
channels that through not only his entire playing career, but now his fast rise in his coaching career. You can hear the crowd. They know what's in store.
Super Bowl chant from the crowd.
The city of the underdog story of Rocky and everything that comes with it. Their head coach, he doesn't shy away from it. He leans into it.
And Hurts will give again, and now they'll have to kick it. Unless they just flat out go for it. I mean, why not? And they'll kick it.
That's a good
First field goal attempt of the game, which is a surprise, with under 6 minutes to play. This officially will be from... Where are they at? About the 13-yard line. So about a 30-yard field goal, 31-yard field goal. Okay. And snap, hold, kick, all good. 31-7 Eagles with 5:17 to play, and it does hurt so good for the Eagles. They're going to the Super Bowl. And the Eagles got that Philadelphia Freedom. But they got one more game to play. So they're going to be against the Bengals or the Chiefs. We'll find out shortly. But, I mean, what a season by the 49ers, though. You know, think about it. Start off with Trey Lance at quarterback. When, you know, my opinion then should have been Garoppolo. But then they, you know, get to both of them anyway because Lance gets hurt and then Garoppolo gets hurt and then insert Brock Purdy. He goes on a run. You can't, you know, take that away from him or them in general for everything they did. But today they ran into a buzzsaw of a team that runs the ball better than they do and makes more stops on defense than they did. And yeah, you can talk about the injuries, you can talk about the penalties and the turnovers. At a time, yeah, the score was closer than it showed. But San Francisco, the closest they got was tying it up at 7. The Eagles, like I said, thought whoever won the NFC would be winning the Super Bowl. I still think that's going to be the case. But like I said, too, root for the Chiefs. Because I'd like to see an Eagle-Chiefs Super Bowl rather than an Eagle-Bengals Super Bowl. So, see what happens. Because, you know, Eagles-Bengals just doesn't, you know, feel right compared to Eagles-Chiefs. Like, yeah, both games would be good, but all 4 potential games, you know, all the possibilities would be good. Because the 4 best teams did make it this conference championship Sunday, but Eagles have blown out yet another team. 31-7 with the field goal up and good. And, yeah, they're going to go try to win their second Super Bowl in 5 years. So, they'll kick off. Be San Fran ball, 1st and 10. Yeah, and they already greased the light poles, but those things will still be climbed, and they'll fucking burn the city down tonight is what they'll do, and for the next 2 weeks. And they could be walking into the jungle if they take on the Bengals, but Debo on the kick return to the 15-20, still going 25. Big play here. They probably needed this a lot sooner to the 31-yard line, 1st and 10, but 5:07 to play. Hey, I mean, if they score on this play, get the ball back on onside kick, score on that return, you know, no time hardly comes off. Still got 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning, maybe get the ball back and score, another onside kick the field goal tie. So you're telling me there's a chance? No, this game's fucking over, and it's been over since Brock Purdy went down with injury. They did come back, make it interesting, you know, when they tied it at 7. Still had a chance there right before and right after halftime. But then they defensively, San Fran couldn't stop the run game. I mean, Philly with 31 points and 4 rushing touchdowns, okay? It's 28 of the 31 with the field goal that they just kicked. So Run game travels, defense wins the championships, and the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. 1st and 10 from 31, and McCaffrey's in at quarterback, and he's going to throw. And heaves it, and nobody's there, incomplete. Okay. That was a good play call, but just not executed. Out of the pistol, got the snap. They tossed it, and then tossed it back. And then he threw it, but nobody there. And that's the thing, like, that's not intentional grounding. Whether there's nobody there or not, he still threw the ball fucking 50 yards downfield. Well, not that far, but you get my point. Like, deep, no, just nobody's there. Intentional grounding is tackle box, in or out, and then balls back to the line of scrimmage. The ball was thrown way past the line of scrimmage. Hell, past the fucking first down marker. That's not like any other time. You know, they wouldn't be even mentioning it, but they had to make an announcement that, oh, that's not intentional grounding. Well, no fucking shit, it's not. Like, just small, basic shit irritates you sometimes. Like, you know, these refs. Yeah, the penalties they threw today, obvious. A lot to San Fran. They shot themselves foot a lot with the injuries, the penalties, the turnovers. But the thing is, like, the refs try to control the game way too damn much. They want the attention. If it's a penalty call, if it's not, don't let him play. Toss to McCaffrey far side, and he'll get about 7 yards, be 3rd and short, make it 4th and short. Now some more pushing and shoving. They're going to break it up. No flags just yet. They're still going at it, though. So San Fran's letting emotions get the better of them. In the meantime, the clock is running. They have not blown this dead yet. Whoa. Now the flags come out. And now bench is clear. The fucking Giants playing the Phillies right now? What the fuck's going on? Trent Williams is going to get thrown out. After all of that, he just threw his ass down. Then the flags came out. Boos, rightfully so. I can understand that. I can understand why they're pissed off, though, too. Both teams of the sidelines. Get the fuck away. Both teams of the sideline. Both teams of the sideline, they say. They're going to have to reset the clock. We had 25 seconds ran off. Sirianni pumping up the crowd in the meantime. Let's see how this post-game handshake is. Boom! Down your ass goes. And then he punched him. He punched him back. Lathered up, I think, is an understatement.
Well, New York, since there was a penalty called, can look at all of this action and determine if anyone's to be thrown out or how many are to be thrown out.
Trent Williams is definitely getting thrown out. Wallace might get thrown out, too. He punched him back.
And you can't leave the bench area, too. So
Yeah, they all ran onto the field.
in San Francisco as they entered the field. So this is all conversation.
There'll be fines, I might add, as well. So they're trying to get it cleared. I mean, hell, this is, you know, to an extent, probably the most exciting point in the game. Fouls by both teams. What do we got? After the play was over, got a personal foul on Trent Williams, number 71, and a personal foul on the Eagles on 42 because they punched him back. That's Wallace. Both players are going to be DQ'd, and we'll play on. The game's already over, though. So they're thrown out. And that's that. No, because it's not college football. It's not fucking targeting, and you got to sit out the second half or the first half of the next game. They'll fine them. That'll just be fines, yeah. Right? Where's it at? Okay, this is when they ran out. Isn't Jalen Hurts just standing there in a fucking cape? Staying the hell away from it? Yeah. Hey, I mean, offsetting fouls is still 4th and 3. They got thrown out, but surprised somebody hasn't fucking thrown anything at them. Yeah, like I said, they got to reset the clock because that clock was running in the meantime of all that. 4:13 a play rather than 3:51, so they added a good, 22 seconds back on the clock. Still 4th and 3. Is that Bubba? He's not good on the track, and he likes punching people on the field, too, it looks like. 4th and 3. They'll go for it. Purdy going to toss, and then McCaffrey tosses a Debo, and then watch for a block on the back, but they bring his ass down. The ball comes out. They recovered it, but I think he might have been down. It's still going to be Eagle ball, just depending on where the spot's at. 1st and 10 Eagles. And Philadelphia is going back to the Super Bowl. Yeah, their defense. And defense wins the championships. And we'll see defense later tonight, too. Cincy's defense is better than Kansas City's. Gardner Minshew in the ball game at quarterback, so you know it's over now. 31-7. Under 4 to play. We'll update final stats and scores of this game early in the next game, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, coming up here in about a half hour or so. Be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube for Bengals Chiefs live watch long reactions. So, Eagles are going to win. They'll away either Cincinnati or Kansas City.
For the Niners, a year of hard work and a great season.
3, 2, 1. They get it off, and Minshew will have a 3rd and 6 coming up. Quarterback for the Eagle offense here. I would think they'd stick with it at the 2-minute warning. They might take a break, though, for all we know. But, yeah, I mean, people will say, well, if only Purdy didn't get hurt, it might have been a hell of a lot closer. And it might have been, but the way it played out today, Philly probably still would have won this game. Because San Fran's defense could have stopped the run. Like, the gas was pumped by Philly. The air was let out, and Eagles are going to win. Flat out, Eagles are going to win. Got a 4th down coming up, so they can't even run the clock out. We go for it here with 2 minutes to play. 4th and 2. Don't kick it, go for it, and then take a knee. Yeah, they'll drain it 2 minutes. Have 4th and 2 coming up here. And they'll take a break. So we'll get back to it shortly. 4th and 2 coming up. I mean, they're going to win, but do they go for it, get a 1st down, and then drain the clock, or they kick it, give them the ball back, and then make us stop on defense, maybe get an interception or something like that? Probably a fumble because they're not going to be throwing. And then take a knee from there. We'll see. But 2 minutes to play. It's 31-7. I guess we could update some stats now for the hell of it. Probably still do the same, though, later. Half hour or so away from kick with Bengals and Chiefs once again on CBS. But 31-7 here. Eagles going to win. Brock Purdy was a perfect 4-4 for 23 yards passing. But he was hurt and hasn't thrown a pass since the first half. Josh Johnson also got hurt. 7-13, 74 yards. McCaffrey, 84 yards rushing and a touchdown.
That would watch an unbelievable
Debo, 3 of 33 receiving. Kittle, 3 catch, 32 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 4 of 22. Brandon Ayuk has a catch for 10 yards. But overall, I mean, for the 49ers, from injuries to penalties to turnovers, and then not being able to stop the run on defenses, you know, why Philly's going to win this game. Defense wins the championships. Hurts, I mean, didn't play that great. You know, 15 to 25, $121. But they were balanced. They were consistent in the run game. Miles Sanders, 11 carries, 42 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell, 13 for 42. Hurts had a rushing touchdown on 11 carries for 39 yards rushing. And then Boston Scott, 6 carries, 21 yards rushing and a touchdown as well. Devontae Smith had 2 catch, 36 yards. A.J. Brown, 4 of 28. Gainwell, 2 of 26. Dallas Goedert, 5 of 23. Had 3 fumbles. 49ers had officially 11 penalties for 81 yards. And like I said earlier, time possession too. Eagles controlled the clock by a good 13 minutes. Still have 2 minutes to play here, so we'll see what that final number turns out to be, but it ain't going to matter. The Eagles are going to win it 31-7.
31-7, Philadelphia. Howie Roseman, Executive VP, Football Operations, his 23rd year in Philly, along with Fletcher Cox.
4th and 2, they'll go for it, try to get a first down, and then knee it out. Minshew hands off, and they do get the first down, and now they can celebrate. They can kneel it out from here, and that'll be all she wrote. And the Eagles are going to beat the 49ers today, 31-7, and advance to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time, Super Bowl 57, and they'll await either the Cincinnati Bengals or the Kansas City Chiefs. That game kicks off in a half hour. So, yeah. They'll have 2 kneel downs, it looks like. There's 1 knee. One more. And they're going to the Super Bowl. And under 40 seconds now. Here we go. And, yeah, you can hold on to that football. Eagles beat the 49ers, and they'll advance to Super Bowl 57. 31-7 your final score. Eagles going to their 4th Super Bowl. Lost the first 2, won their last. Going to try to win their 2nd in 5 years. Eagles will face either the Bengals or the Chiefs in 2 weeks. So, meantime, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Quinn, Luke 96. We'll talk more about what happened here and what's about to happen in a little bit, and what the future holds in 2 weeks' time, a little bit later on tonight. So stay tuned, tune back in, and I'll see everybody shortly for Bengals and Chiefs. But Eagles beat the 49ers 31-7 and advance Super Bowl 57.